Well, good evening, or good afternoon, I should say, everybody, and welcome inside of the UD Arena here in Dayton, Ohio. I am Tucker Austin, joined today by my broadcast partner, Madi Dembele, and we are just about ready for tip-off here of the Fordham Rams and the Dayton Flyers. And today, Madi, it's a big, big battle. These two teams locked at 7th place in the A10, both with identical records, both out of conference and in conference, Madi.
Yeah, you talk about identical. Talk about a mirror reflection here. Both teams standing at 14-12 on the season, 8-7 in conference play. And the last time these two teams faced off against each other, very, very close to fair, 58-55. It went the way of the Rams, but they've only scored 6 points in the closing quarter there. Ivy Wolf with a big game, 17. She's the leading scorer this season for the Dayton Flyers, and they're looking to get that one back. And again, Tucker, as you said, it's still fight for 7th place, right? A10 play is coming up in Virginia, and you want to make a run now. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. It begins. We're getting back against a familiar face.
And we talked to Coach B a little bit about their position in the A10, facing an opponent for the second time, as Fordham has done multiple times this year. Here now is the Coach's Sound with Coach Bridgette Mitchell. We're here with Coach Bridgette Mitchell ahead of Fordham women's basketball's game against the University of Dayton. And Coach, Fordham and Dayton are tied for 7th place in the A10 right now with just 3 games to go, including this one. How has the intensity ramped up for your squad down the stretch?
I think that our intensity isn't necessarily about our placement. It's more so about building on what we did last game. And we had, success in our previous game against Duquesne, and seeing them a second time. It's really hard to beat a team two times in a season. And so having that successful outcome against Dayton the first time, we're just really locked in on making sure we clean up some things so we can repeat.
Yeah, you talk about cleaning up on some things. Let's talk about it. 58-55, close to fair. What exactly are you looking for, specifically if we're heading towards the end of the game, that you want to clean up?
Yeah, we got to make sure that we are able to exploit some mismatches. They switch a lot on and off ball, and so when we have those opportunities, we got to look to feed it inside, and everyone has to be aggressive and looking to score. I don't think last game, that's why the score was so low, right? We were able to do that. I think last game we did do a good job on their go-to players, so we have to, again, build on that.
And this Dayton team is riding a lot of general program momentum, like over the past 3 seasons. They're currently enjoying their first winning season under head coach Tamika Williams-Jeter. So how do you contain a program on the rise like the Flyers are? Yeah,
Tamika, she's doing a great job with them, stepping into this program and leading them the way that she is, getting them to play as tough as they do. I really want to commend her on that. And I think that is just really important for us to be the aggressor, right? We got to win the 50-50 plays, the hustle plays, loose balls, those type of things, that kind of grit we have to bring.
Yeah, you talk about strength in numbers. Going back to last game, very, very impressive win against Duquesne. A lot of names to be proud of: Camila DePool, Anastasia Velovic, Rose Nelson. So how does it make you feel seeing a bunch of different names come alive so late in the season as A10 plays is so close?
Yeah, I'm really happy for them as individuals, each and every player that has stepped up, because they put in a lot of work. And so just really proud of their effort and them seeing their work come to fruition. And I just, again, as their coach, I want to build on it. It wasn't just the one-off. You can do that all the time. And so that's something that I'm really looking forward to seeing from them.
How do you keep them engaged? How do you keep that momentum going with players consistently?
You want to win or no?
I like that.
Yeah, that's good enough for me. Thanks, Coach B, so much. Just ahead is the start of Fordham women's basketball versus the University of Dayton Flyers on WFUV Sports.
Thanks, guys.
And we welcome you back inside of the UD Arena here at the University of Dayton along the banks of the great Miami River here in Southwest Ohio. Tucker Austin joined by Madi Dembele. And we have some starting lineups as they do some player introductions here tonight. For the visiting Fordham Rams, it's going to be 4 forwards tonight and just a single guard. That one guard being number 4, Taya Davis. The 4 forwards on the floor to start for Fordham will be number 6, Irene Morua, number 10, Rose Nelson, number 13, Emma Wilson-Saltos, and number 25, Kayla Berry. And for the home side, the Dayton Flyers, the starters are going to be 3 guards, number 6, Ricky Harris, number 10, Ivy Wolf, and number 21, Nicole Stevens, alongside 2 forwards, number 5, Ariana Smith, and number 13, Shannon Wheeler. And now, Madi, when I look at this Dayton starting lineup, 2 names pop off the page for me, and that's Ivy Wolf and Ariana Smith. What do you have on them?
Ivy Wolf again, as I said before, excellent game last time out. Efficient as well. 17 on great splits from the floor. She missed a go-ahead 3 to win the game, but she is certainly one to watch on the perimeter for the Fordham faithful. And Ariana Smith, she's pretty much the reason as to why Fordham's going to have to go big in this game. Again, she leads this team in almost every single statistical category. She's the most efficient player within the A10, 62.9% from the field. I didn't say 3, I didn't say the free throw, from the field. She also leads this team in rebounds and block shots. She has great positional size at 6'2", great frame and strength on that body, as well as the fact that she's great at putting pressure on the rim. Ladies and gentlemen, I actually think she's the X factor in this one. She's going to get the start as she always does. And for Fordham, that's the reason why you go big. That's the reason you try to blitz her, neutralize her as she jumps up with Emma Wilson-Salter, who has a lot of those same characteristics.
Yeah, started every game for the Dayton Flyers this season, has Ariana Smith, and Ivy Wolf has done so as well. So regular starters in, they're going to have big impacts tonight. We're just about ready for tip-off here, 1:02 p.m. Eastern Time from Southwest Ohio. And the tip goes the way of the Fordham Rams. Emma Wilson-Saltos won it back to Kayla Berry, and now Taya Davis will get it going for the Fordham Rams. Davis on the right wing. Moves down into the right corner. Screened by Morwa, now finds Rose Nelson up top. Rose Nelson moving right to left into the left wing. Screen up high for Emma Wilson-Saltos, and now there's going to be an offensive foul. Illegal screen called against Emma Wilson-Saltos, and it's an early turnover for the Fordham Rams.
Very early turnover indeed. Emma Wilson-Saltos has gotten in foul trouble very early on and a lot throughout the course of this season. She's going to be at a point of attack for Dayton.
Play getting started again. It's Ivy Wolf on the ball. And now Nicole Stevens, now to Ricky Harris. Now it's up top for Shannon Wheeler. Now down low for Ariana Smith. Goes up with the lay, and it's good. Through the contact by Emma Wilson-Saltos, gets the 2, and it's 2-0 Flyers.
And that's why they try to get the size in the front to match up against Ariana Smith. She is an absolute force in the restricted area.
Taya Davis, top of the three-point line, top of the key. Moving right to left, now finds Emma Wilson-Saltos. Wilson-Saltos tries to go to Morwa down low, but there's going to be a foul called on the floor. It was Ariana Smith getting her hand on the basketball, but I believe it's going to be a push against Smith, so Fordham retains possession.
Yeah, you see here, Rose Nelson near side wing. You probably wanted to see her take more advantage of that mismatch and try to post up there.
Taya Davis inbounds to Kayla Berry. Just under 9 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Dayton has a 2-0 lead. Taya Davis drives the lane, goes up with the kiss off the glass, and gets the 2. We're tied.
Plays larger than her size. It's a shot she's familiarized herself with. Gets into the body of the defender and soft touch off the glass.
Now Ivy Wolf fires it across the court for Nicole Stevens. Stevens dumps it off for Wheeler. Wheeler to Ivy Wolf at the top of the key. She drives inside, finds Ricky Harris wide open in the corner for 3. That's no good. A little long, and rebounded by Taya Davis. Taya Davis across the block D logo at center court, now to the top of the key, handoff to Rose Nelson, now dribble handoff to Kayla Berry. Kayla Berry has it, finds Rose Nelson, she's guarded by Ivy Wolf. Rose Nelson gets it to Taya Davis, top of the key, crosses and now goes to Rose Nelson. Rose Nelson drives the lane, now passes out to Morwa, thinks about a 3, goes back into the paint, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Berry steps up past the 3-point line for a long 2, that's no good. Rattles off the rim, rebound Dayton. Quickly the other way go the Flyers. Here's Ivy Wolf. Ivy Wolf spins down to the low block. Rose Nelson defending, the layup's no good, and Rose Nelson gets the rebound. Now the other way in transition go the Rams. Taya Davis has it. Top of the key, she'll set up the offense. Still tied at 2, 7:40 and ticking here in the first quarter. Rose Nelson on the left wing. She's guarded closely by Stevens. Driving inside is Rose Nelson, but that layup is no good. It's rebounded underneath by Wheeler. Now Ricky Harris has it for the Flyers. Goes down low for Smith. Ariana Smith driving on Wilson-Saltos, spinning in the lane, and the layup is no good. It sat up on the rim and bounced about 3 times before missing long, and Taya Davis has it for the Rams going the other way. Top of the key, Taya Davis patiently waiting for the offense to get going. Ivy Wolf showing defense. Morwa sets a screen on Wolf. Taya Davis with the floater, that's no good. Rebounded by Kayla Berry. She goes back up, but it's off the bottom of the backboard, and there's a foul on the play. It's going to be against Ivy Wolf, and Kayla Berry will go to the line for 2.
Not much scoring in that last stretch of play there, but both teams have to be satisfied with the quality of shot. I'm pretty sure it's something that both head coaches have stressed to both brigades. It's good shots, the better shots. Fordham's passing has allowed them to get the shots that they want. Deep penetration by Dayton has get them point blank at the rim. Fordham's going to be here at the line looking to make good on that do.
Kayla Berry knocks down the first of 2 free throws to give Fordham a 3-2 lead. 6:53 with a stopped clock, of course.
Tucker absolutely loved the engagement by the Fordham staff here on the bench, directing traffic from this sideline here just to make sure everybody else is in sync.
Kayla Berry knocks down both of her free throws. Fordham with the 2-point lead, 4-2 Rams, and Dayton moving quickly. Ricky Harris finds Ivy Wolf on the left wing. She steps inside the 3-point line, and her 2 is short. Fight for the rebound, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Dayton Flyers.
Yeah, and again, Fordham, you see them trailing in transition after the 2 big-time Kayla Berry free throws there. Dayton turning on the Jets and getting shots within the half court before the defense is set. That's a strategy they should employ all game long.
Nicole Stevens inbounding to Ivy Wolf. She moves left to right. Near the free throw line, now she finds Ricky Harris. Harris pulls for 2, but it's no good. Fight for the rebound again, and it's going to be Fordham's ball this time. Out of bounds off of Ariana Smith.
Tucker Austin, a lot of front rim shots here for Dayton. Again, they're getting to the spots that they like, but not getting enough lift on the shot, which doinks forward.
Taya Davis moves across half court. Directing traffic is Taya Davis. Rose Nelson moves to the left wing, receives the pass, and it goes right back to Taya Davis. Now she moves across left to right. Mortaway inside. No good on the layup, and it's rebounded there by Ariana Smith. Now Nicole Stevens for Dayton, guarded by Shea Harris. High screen, drives into the lane. Her layup is good. A clean layup from Nicole Stevens, and we're tied at 4. 5:58 to go in the first.
Standard pick and roll there. She's able to beat Berry off the dribble, gets past her, and soft touch off the glass.
Band coming alive a little bit now. Taya Davis has it for the Fordham Rams. Davis finds Nelson. Nelson drives into the lane. Believe there's going to be a travel called on Rose Nelson on the drive. Picked up that dribble just a little bit too early before hitting the lane.
And Rose Nelson's going to take a seat here for them. Going to try to run in transition. Anastasia Velovic back into the game for the very first time here. She's out there with Shea Harris, Irina Murua, Kayla Berry, as well as Taya Davis. Very versatile lineup here.
It's going to be Wheeler on the ball for Dayton. Pressed across half court by Veljovic. Fordham nearly forces a turnover there, but Stevens moves it up. Now inside for O'Riordan, into the corner. It's Nio Lear. Her layup misses the rim. It's no good. Mortwell with the rebound, and Fordham goes the other way. Taya Davis finds Mortwell down in the corner, but it's tipped away by Stevens. It's going to be out of bounds against Stevens and the Flyers. Fordham ball.
Yeah, it feels like an even slower start for the Flyers. Again, they saw the geometry employed by Fordham, that tough press there. They get the ball to Stevens, but again, pass, short arm shot at the rim that results in an air ball. I mean, it's only a matter of time before these shots fall, but Fordham, if they know any better, if they're wiser to the fact, they'll take advantage.
Shea Harris inbounding for Fordham. She found Precious Omashola under the basket, but it's going to be another travel against Fordham. Wheeler inbounds to Stevens, and Dayton gets things going again. Tied at 4, ticking under 5 minutes to go in the first. It's Stevens on the left wing, dribble handoff for Nio Lear. Now Stevens has it guarded by Shea Harris, screened by O'Riordan, but Stevens doesn't go to it. Tries to find an outlet, but there's going to be a foul under the basket. Some hard contact there. Anastasia Veljovic is going to pick up the foul under the basket. And Dayton is going to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout too, our first timeout under 5 minutes. But we will be right back with more Fordham women's basketball here on WFUV Sports.
Hi, my name is Ryan Rucco, WFUV class of 2008. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
Hi, this is Mike Breen, WFUV class of 1983. WFUV is the flagship station of Fordham athletics with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to Saturday One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
And welcome back inside of the University of Dayton Arena here in Dayton, Ohio. Of course, Tucker Austin joined by Madi Dembele, where the Fordham Rams and the Dayton Flyers are currently tied at 4. Yes, just 4 points apiece for these two teams through a little more than 5 minutes of play in the first quarter. 4:47 is what is on the clock now. Both teams with a pair of fouls to their name. And Madi, it has been slow going early here for both sides, but particularly more so for Dayton. They're missing a lot of shots, you mentioned, just a little short or missing the rim entirely.
Yeah, you talk about a slow burner, Tucker Austin. I mean, and it's not it's not the sense of good defense. It's just the fact that both teams haven't found themselves offensively. Again, Dayton missing point-blank shots, short-arming a lot, front-rim air balls. As we said before, for them, it's been turnovers and fouls, right? Not even able to get into your offensive sets because you fouled someone or you've done something illegal on your end. So both teams going to have to clean up a lot if they want to run away with this one.
Stevens inbounds to O'Riordan. O'Riordan moves into the paint. She tries to get the shot up. It goes off of Rose Nelson's head, but goes back to O'Riordan. Kind of a wild play there as Dayton regains possession. Just 7 seconds on the shot clock, though. Running out of time here. Nio Lear drives on Veljovic into the lane. Her layup is no good. She gets her own board, goes up again, and that layup's no good. Fight for the rebound. Shea Harris was going to get there, but it looks like they're going to call Veljovic for another foul. This time it's a hit. So an early second foul for Anastasia Veljovic with just 4:25 on the clock in the first quarter.
Yeah, a lot here, Tucker.
It's Stevens inbounding to Lear, goes up with the layup, and that's finally good. Nio Lear with absolute tenacity. She wanted a bucket that bad, and it's 6-4 Flyers. Quickly go the Rams the other way. Amaya Ferguson on the floor now for Fordham. Shea Harris finds Taya Davis. Now Shea Harris moves in the right corner. Taya Davis finds Amaya Ferguson. She pulls for three from the left wing. It's no good, off the left iron. Fired down the court. It's going to be Stevens with the lay. That's no good. Rebounding and out to Wolf in the corner. That's no good off the front iron. Now Amaya Ferguson grabs the rebound for the Rams and moves the other way. Quick transitions for both teams here. Shea Harris has it in the right corner. No hesitation, and she drills the three. A huge bucket for the Rams. It might be a 2 on the floor. The scoreboard reads 6-6.
And Shea Harris, with the absence of Taylor Donaldson, will be a scoring option for Fordham as this one continues to go on. That's just one of many for her, hopefully, if you're head coach Bridget Mitchell.
Taya Davis playing good defense on Stevens, excuse me. Inside goes Lear through the foul and the bucket.
Nio Lear, we talk about her game. Junior guard, 5'10", out of South Howland, Illinois. She is a speedy guard, great ball handling skill, and she absolutely thrives in transition. She's shooting 50% from three. She's a team leader in that category. But as you've seen over the last course of play, she could put pressure on the rim. And again, she has the size and strength on her frame to do so. She's here at the free throw line, and if she's wiser to the fact, that's something that she's going to look to do. Penetrate, try to get to the line, or kick out for better shots.
Now let me correct myself here really quickly. As she knocks down the first, Nia O'Lear does. She did not get the bucket on the foul, just the foul. So she's at the line for two, makes the first. 7-6 Dayton. And the second free throw for Nia O'Lear rattles out. It's no good, but it's rebounded by Ariana Smith. Now it's Ivy Wolf, top of the key, moving right to left. Now she finds Stevens. Stevens out to the right corner for Lear. Lear drives inside, goes up for the layup, and it's good. Nia Lear working into the paint and getting the two. 9-6 Flyers.
Very, very impressive first step. Again, speed is the name of her game there, so you have to be on your P's and Q's. Defensive stance is necessary for one Nia Lear.
Taya Davis finds Rose Nelson. Now it's Kayla Berry. Kayla Berry over to Taya Davis. Davis works just above the free throw line, now finds Kayla Berry again. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Berry drives on Ricky Harris. Ricky Harris takes the contact, and it's going to be an offensive foul. Kayla Berry is called for the charge. Great job by Ricky Harris to take the contact. Coach Bridgette Mitchell storms over and takes a seat on the bench.
Tit for tat there, Tucker.
Nicole Stevens brings it up. Now it's Ivy Wolf, top of the key for the Dayton Flyers. Ivy Wolf trying to work on Mortua. She's double teamed, and now it's over to Stevens. Stevens pulls for three. It's no good off the left iron. Fight for the rebound, and it's Kayla Berry. Now Shea Harris moving up the court. She moves to the left wing, pulls for three. It's no good off the 4-iron. Mortua with the rebound, though, and she gets it up top for Taya Davis. Fordham resetting the offense now. Tries to go inside to Mortua, and Mortua does gain possession, but it's going to be a jump ball. Ricky Harris again getting her hands on the basketball.
Yeah, Ricky Harris here slow to get up again. She took kind of an embellished flop there against Kayla Berry. She hit the ground hard for a second straight time. Slow to get up on her feet. She'll be the trigger man coming out of bounds here. Again, Tucker, very, very slow game. That missed layup there by Shannon. Much of the sentiment of this game, it's been that type of night for them.
Harris gets it forward for Lear. She pulls for two. It's no good off the 4-iron. Rebounded by Ariana Smith, and the putback is good. 11-6 Dayton. Shea Harris pulls for three from the right wing. It's no good. Kayla Berry goes for the rebound, but she's going to pick up another foul on the over the back. Or no foul, but it is out of bounds off of Kayla Berry. It's important that the Fordham Rams curtail the fouling a little bit. 1:36 to go in the first. 11-6 is the lead for the Dayton Flyers, and they have the basketball. Ricky Harris inbounds to Nicole Stevens, back to Harris. Now back to Stevens, going back and forth, trying to break a light Fordham press. Stevens has it now, and she calls out the offense. On the floor now is the 6'5" Eve Fiala for Dayton, and she sets a screen on Kayla Berry. Pulls for three, does Olivia Leung, and she drills it. Leung off the screen from Fiala, gets the three ball to go, and it's 14-6 Dayton. 1:05 to go in the first. Taya Davis slows things down for the Rams. They need a bucket desperately here. Under a minute to go now, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Taya Davis crosses over from right to left, now moves into the paint. Finds Mortua in the corner. She thinks about the three, but hesitates, now moves inside. Passes it to the opposite corner. It's Rose Nelson for three. It rolls out, no good. Loose rebound. Kayla Berry and Ricky Harris go to the ground and make contact over the basketball.
Kayla Berry there on the floor holding her right elbow because, again, Nikki Harris is a solid human being, not someone you want to run into.
Bridgette Mitchell not happy with the foul. It's going to be a foul call against Kayla Berry on the fight for the loose ball.
You're thinking,
and
Tucker,
I think understandably
much,
Bridgette Mitchell is not happy about that one.
Yeah, you figure there that it's pretty much anyone's game when the ball is on the floor there. So yet again, another Fordham foul here. They're racking up as they find themselves in their coffin by 8. only 40 seconds left to go here. Nikki Harris at the free throw line where she hits the first.
Yeah, that foul from Kayla Berry put Dayton into the bonus here in the first quarter, so a loose ball foul on the other end turns into 2 free throws as Harris made the first, and the second is good. So perfect from the line is Ricky Harris, 16-6, now a 10-point deficit for the Rams. Camilla DePool gets it forward for Harris. They have time. Harris pulls the 2, though, and knocks it down.
You love it when she gets that shot. It's the shot that she's been searching all year. It's the shot she hit last time out for them to beat Duquesne, so she'll take those all night long.
Nice little 2-point jumper from just inside the free throw line on that A10 logo, but now quickly go the Flyers. Lear with the little floater from the right block gets it to go, an immediate answer. 13 seconds and ticking. No shot clock for the Rams. DePool has to move it quickly. DePool, crossover, into Ricky Harris, no call. Loose ball again. This time it's going to be Stevens. She puts the shot up, and it's no good. It goes long just before the buzzer. It would have been good if it went, but a huge run for the Dayton Flyers at the end of the first quarter. It's 18-8. Dayton has the lead after 10 minutes, and we are going to take a quick break here, but we will have more Fordham women's basketball and second quarter action of the Rams and the Flyers after this on WFUV Sports.
Hi, this is Michael Kay, WFUV class of 1982. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One on One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV Sports.
And we welcome you back inside of the UD Arena. Tucker Austin here alongside Madi Dembele. We await the start of the second quarter here between the Rams and the Flyers. But it is 18-8. Dayton has the lead after what began as a sleepy first quarter, Madi. Dayton really turned it on in the latter 5 minutes.
Yes, sing about me, I'm dying of thirst. That was most of the sentiment from the first quarter there. Lethargy as Tucker Austin picks up his water. Both teams needing a bit of that themselves, but it was Dayton who came out for better and not worse here. Again, that big-time 3 there by Olivia Luang really sparked the run that Dayton was able to come out and kind of produce towards the latter end of the first quarter. 18-8 is your current score. Fordham not knowing what hit them, the phantom punch, as I do say so often there. They found themselves in the whole 10.
Yeah, Nio Lear really wanted to get a bucket bad on the one possession in the first quarter where she got her own rebound, went up again, but got fouled. Eventually, after missing the second free throw, she winds up with another opportunity and turns that into a 3-point play total. So really tenacious there. She's 3 for 7 on the night from the floor. But Ariana Smith has also been doing a great job underneath, getting a lot of rebounds, getting involved. She's 2 for 3. Not many shots, but still, you love to see that efficiency.
Yeah, you talk about Nio Lear. It's exactly why for Fordham, your X factor tonight will be none other than Shay Harris. We talked about the offense that she has to produce, but Nio Lear is her matchup there on the far side corner. She's beaten her twice to the basket for the little runner float shot that she saw and got all day long here. 3 of 7, as you said before, as they show it on the jumbo screen there. Again, Shay Harris going to have to do it on both ends, much to the absence of Taylor Donaldson, because we know when Donaldson's on the floor, she does it on both ends. So if you're Shay Harris, it's time for you to do the same.
Although the Fordham Rams did prove last time out that they could put together a winning basketball game without Taylor Donaldson.
Wire-to-wire win against Duquesne and Meg McConnell. Very impressive there.
Taya Davis driving into the lane. She's guarded well by Olivia Leung. Mordua pulls from the left wing. That's no good. Gets her own rebound. Tries to throw it off of a Dayton player, but she picks it up. Nio Lear now drives into the paint, puts the floater up, and it's good. Nia Lear with the blinders on, putting that floater up in the lane among the trees and gets it to go. 20-8 Flyers.
And she's going to put those shots up all night long. Again, it's the floaters that she's going to look for.
And another floater on the other end, this time from Taya Davis, but it's no good. Ricky Harris with the rebound. Harris gets it down court for Olivia Leung. She drives on Rose Nelson on the right corner. Leung calls an offense. There's two screens up high. She uses one. Her shoe comes off. Shannon Wheeler has the ball. Now it's Ricky Harris. She pulls for two. It's no good. Rebounded by Taya Davis. Kind of a circus play there with the missing shoe, but Fordham gets the ball. Mortua on the long bomb pass by Taya Davis, finding Mortua under the bucket for the two. 20-10 Dayton.
She set a career high 13 assists against LaSalle, and that's exactly why. Eyes all around her head, and she gets it to go. Gets it to Mortua for the easy deuce under the basket.
Ricky Harris gets it over to Leung, and there's going to be a foul. And they've got Eve Fiala on a push off the ball. Fortuitous call for the Fordham Rams there after a tough first quarter in terms of the fouls. A couple players jumping off for the Rams. DePool comes off. It's Wilson, Saltos, Veljovic, Nelson, Mortua, and Davis out there for the Rams. Meanwhile, Leung, Wolf, Smith, Harris, and it's Shannon Wheeler rounding it out for the Flyers. It's Wilson Saltos, and now it's Taya Davis. Now on the right wing, it's Veljovic. She finds Mortua in the corner. Mortua looking for options. Veljovic thinks about the three, but travels on the pump fake.
Yeah, another turnover for Fordham there. Just as you think the momentum is on their side, they proverbially shoot themselves in the foot. 20-10 is your score. So Dayton currently doubling their output there. Fordham's going to have to limit those as well as the fouls as this one goes on.
8-12 and ticking in the second. Ricky Harris crosses half court, guarded by Taya Davis. Now Anastasia Veljovic picks her up. Ivy Wolf on the right wing, gets it inside for Shannon Wheeler. Wheeler driving on Mortua, spins and puts it up, but it's short. Complete air ball, but a really smart play there by Ariana Smith under the basket to throw the ball off of Wilson Saltos and out of bounds to give Dayton a new possession.
Yeah, heads up stuff by both teams. Irina Mortua with the perfect defense, taking the contact, keeping the hands straight up, and Ariana Smith keeping the play alive on this side.
9-second shot clock for Dayton. Inbound to Ariana Smith. She's looking for options. 5 seconds now. Smith finds Ricky Harris. Ricky Harris moves around the screen, pulls for two from the free throw line, and it's pure. Ricky Harris with the two-point jumper. It's 22-10 Dayton.
And if you're Wilson Saltos, you got to anticipate that. Try to step up even before the screen comes, as you know your man's going to get beat and pushed out of the play.
Taya Davis takes the feed from Mortua. Now finds Rose Nelson on the left wing, who drives. Stops on the low block and now finds Veljovic on the right wing. She moves down low to the right block, but there's going to be a foul there on Ricky Harris as Veljovic works down into the low block.
Yeah, Ricky Harris, very imposing, I would say, athlete with defensive, with a defensive gameplay that is disruptive. If I do say so myself, she has 37 steals on the season. She's a team leader, but she gets caught with her hand in the cookie jar trying to get yet another steal.
Taya Davis inbounds to Rose Nelson, a little long, but she collects. Now dribble handoff to Taya Davis. She finds Camilla DePool on the right side. That three is no good, rebounded by Smith. Now Ricky Harris has it. Right wing for the Flyers. And now it's Leung. Leung gets it over to Wheeler. Wheeler drives left to right, now gets it to Ricky Harris, goes back to Wheeler. Wheeler thinks about the two, now pulls, it's no good off the far iron. Now Mortua and now Taya Davis. Taya Davis drives all the way and gets it to go. She goes to the floor, no call, but the kiss off the glass is good. 22-12, and there's contact on the opposite side of the floor. It's going to be Camilla DePool on the transition foul. There's a bit of a groan in the arena on that one, although my vision was blocked by the referee. I couldn't see exactly how severe that contact was.
Yeah, got her up top on the arms there. Kind of an arm swing, but Ivy Wolf is the leading scorer, so must hold your breath for that one.
Ivy Wolf gets it over to Ariana Smith. Now Smith to Leung. To Olivia Leung driving. Gets it outside. Now Ricky Harris. And now wide open in the corner. It's Shannon Wheeler. Her three is long. Rebounded by Ariana Smith. Goes right back up. It's no good. Off the front iron. She goes back up again, and it's no good. This time it's rebounded by Shannon Wheeler. But there's a whistle on the floor. The ball is going to stay with the Flyers on the jump ball. A frantic possession under the basket, but great job by the Fordham Rams to keep Dayton from scoring on some really good opportunities.
Mr. Austin, I proper rate that offensive possession there by Dayton. Getting the ball moving, Olivia Leung denying the screen, pass. They get shots at the basket, but you'll take that type of possession any time around.
And a quick inbound and bucket, but there's going to be a foul on the floor. It's against Ivy Wolf off the ball. The whistle came in immediately after the ball was inbounded, so Fordham has possession now.
And the Dayton faithful letting the referees hear it. A couple boos in the stands.
It's the third foul in the quarter for Dayton. Fordham with only one, so a bit of a foul advantage there. 6:13 to go in the second quarter. It's a 10-point deficit for the Rams. They trail 22-12. Irene Morua will inbound with a full court press by Dayton. Taya Davis trying to work around it, and she does. Finally crosses the tie line and gets the ball to Shea Harris. Now it's back to Taya Davis on the left wing. Goes inside for Wilson Saltos. She goes up strong and gets it to go. A layup off the glass for Emma Wilson Saltos, 22-14. But here come the Flyers. Olivia Leung on the left wing. Now it's up top for Shannon Wheeler. She finds Lear. Niall Lear finds Leung. Leung back to Lear. Niall Lear moves inside. But there's going to be a violation called here against Dayton.
I think it was a double dribble there is what they call her for. But again, good job on Fordham there. Emma Wilson Saltos forcing Dayton to go through their possessions, playing ball denial all Ariana Smith. So Dayton forced to go into their bag of tricks. They come up with nothing.
5:32 and ticking. Fordham with possession. It's 16 seconds on the shot clock as DePool gets it to Taya Davis. Now Davis moving right to left, drives the left block. That's no good, a long layup, but she gets her own board. Taya Davis puts the floater up and it's good. A nice little teardrop for Taya Davis.
Always follow your shot, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly why offensive rebounds tend to be the gold at the end of the rainbow.
22-16, it's Leung on the ball for Dayton, looking for options, guarded closely by Taya Davis. Ariana Smith has it now top of the key. She gets it to Niall Lear. Lear gets it out to Leung, thinks about the three, and now picks it up. Drives inside, does Lear, but her layup is no good, off both the far and near iron, rebounded by Mortua. Now the other way goes Shea Harris. Harris finds Taya Davis. Davis works it inside, now finds Wilson Saltos under the basket. And there's going to be a jump ball possession. I believe it is...
It's going to go the way to Dayton, if I'm not mistaken.
They pointed the direction of Dayton, but I think the arrow is pointing at Fordham. So a bit of confusion there about who exactly has possession after that jump ball. But that does take us to our first stoppage under 5 here in the second quarter. 4:36 on the clock. 22-16 is the lead for the Dayton Flyers. And we'll be right back after this quick break on WFUV Sports.
I'm Chaz McAdams.
And I'm Ben Oppenheimer.
And we are two of your hosts for On the Hill, the flagship podcast of Fordham Athletics.
We'll be talking about everything from football at Moglia Stadium
to hoops at the historic Rose Hill Gym.
Discussing the ins and outs of all Ram athletes, teams, and big games.
If you want to be part of the Ramily, then listen to On the Hill from WFUV Sports.
And we welcome you back inside of the U Dayton Arena, otherwise known as the UD Arena. It's a nice little spot here on the Great Miami River. That's what they call it. It's not a descriptor. It is called the Great Miami River. But we're here in the little city of Dayton, 4th largest metro area in the state of Ohio. Tucker Austin joined by Madi Dembele And the Dayton Flyers currently hold the lead over the Fordham Rams, 22-16, 4:36 to go, as the referee is currently having a discussion with the scorer's table about that possession arrow, trying to figure out whose ball it actually is. I believe he just told Fordham's coaches that it's going to be Fordham ball.
Okay, yeah, there was a lot of confusion on that last one. Emma Wilson-Saltos with the campfire around her, loses possession. They call the jump ball. The referee's initial action was to go the other way, but the arrow, electronic arrow, points the way of Fordham, and it's going to be the electronic arrow that is correct here. Fordham going on an 8-point run from 8 to 16 here. Kind of getting that sip of water as we talked about earlier, trying to shake off that lethargy.
Yeah, it's a 6-0 or 6-0 run rather over the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
6-0
for the Fordham Rams. Meanwhile, it's 0 of their last 5 and 1 of their last 8 for Dayton. They haven't scored in over 3 minutes. So Fordham doing a good job on the defensive end, shutting down the Flyers, and also doing a decent job chipping away at this lead.
Doing so in a short rotation, Tucker. Remember, Carissa Antoine, Taylor Donaldson not available in both the front and the backcourt. So Fordham doing what they do best, strapping down on defense, holding opponents to low sums in scores. But let's see if they're able to do that as this game wears on.
Taya Davis inbounds to Shea Harris. She pulls for a short 2. It's no good, but gets her own rebound. Now she goes up again with the layup, gets her own board again. This time she's fouled on the second chance attempt, or really I should say third chance attempt.
Third chance.
But she's fouled on that one, so she'll go to the line for 2.
You feel like on that first initial offensive rebound, she had the chance to go up with the mid-range shot that she searches for. Nonetheless, she's here at the free throw line, looking to get 2 points the hard way.
Harris knocks down the first.
Again, now Fordham within 5, so nice little run here. Now they're making it 8 points.
Shea Harris knocks down both of her free throws to make it a 22-18 game, 4:21 on the clock in the second quarter. It is Nicole Stevens for the Flyers, directing traffic, guarded by DePool. Finds a wide open Danica Lightbourne in the corner, but it's stolen away by Taya Davis. Davis finds Harris. She pulls for 3. It's no good off the front iron. Loose rebound is picked up by Rose Nelson. Taya Davis pulls for 3. Top of the arc. That's no good off the right iron. Rebound Shea Harris goes right back up with the lay and gets it to go. Great second chance opportunity by Shea Harris, and it's a 2-point game, 22-20. 3:48 to go in the second.
And that's 3 offensive rebounds in for Shea Harris in the last 2 possessions. You love to see your smaller guards crash the boards.
A quick 3 on the other end for Ajak Madal. And Dayton answers right back. It's 25-20. 3:30 to go in the second.
Yeah, Ajak Madal, she's really unfair as she's listed as a guard at 6'3". She has the skill to do so. So Fordham with yet another tall task in front of them.
DePool regains a loose ball. Now Shea Harris underneath tries to go up, but it's no good. It's effectively a pass to Rene Morwa on the other side of the paint. She goes up for the lay and gets it to go. 25-22. Quickly the other way come the Flyers. Inside to Ariana Smith. She goes up with the soft hands. It's no good, but there's going to be a foul on the floor fighting over the rebound. I believe it's going to be against Morwa of the Rams.
And Tuck, I got to tell you, the gravity that Ariana Smith, because again, she's not filling up the score sheet in this game in particular, but everybody crashes around her once the basketball is in her hands, and it opens up so much for this Dayton offense. Again, she's had a couple of wide open misses, but you still feel her energy, her magnetism, and dare I say, the aura that is Ariana Smith.
Now, inside, it's Nicole Stevens looking for an option, but the ball gets away. It's going to be a jump ball here. Fighting for it was Ariana Smith and Rene Morwa.
Shea Harris fouled intently there on the jump. She was trying to get the rebound, but she flew like 3 feet there, got pushed.
Inbound by Stevens to Ricky Harris, guarded by Kayla Berry, but Ricky Harris does a great job in the paint with the footwork to get the 2 to go. 27-22, 2:45 in the second. Taya Davis on the ball, guarded by Lightbourne. loses it for a moment but regains possession. Now it's Camilla DePool. DePool driving left to right, goes up with the lay, but it's long. Kayla Berry punches the ball away from the attempted rebound of Madal, but it's out of bounds off of Berry. So it's Dayton's ball, 27-22, 2:32 to go here in the second.
And that's the absolute luxury of Ajak Madal, sophomore guard forward, 6'3" Regina Saskatchewan, 23 assists. She's a mountain figure with wide front court and backcourt skill set. As I said before, only 3.4 rebounds on the season per game, but that's because she does so much on the perimeter, and they rather have her there.
Ariana Smith moves it across for Nicole Stevens. Nicole Stevens guarded closely by Rose Nelson, and she uses a screen by O'Riordan to get the ball to Ricky Harris. Now it's Ariana Smith who gets the ball down low for O'Riordan. She goes up for the layup, and it's good. Molly O'Riordan, the 6'2" freshman forward/center, gets it to go, and it's 29-22. 1:57 here in the second. DePool finds Mortua. Mortua trying to get it to Harris, and she does. Now it's Rose Nelson, top of the key, trying to get it to Mortua down low. Mortua working on O'Riordan, and she gets the nice little lefty lay to go, working around O'Riordan. It's 29-24, and the Flyers go the other way. O'Riordan gets it to Stevens. Nicole Stevens, guarded by Taya Davis, backs into her, now uses the screen from Smith. Wide open is O'Riordan, now even more open in the corner is Lightbourne, and she airballs the three. Rebounded by Ariana Smith, but the ball gets away. It's stolen by Mortua. Here comes Camilla DePool into a defender, and they're going to call the foul, I believe, under the basket. Surely this isn't a charge.
No, it's going to stay here with the Fordham Rams there. Camilla DePool able to draw the foul.
They didn't call it on a shot, although it looked like she was driving the lane to try and go for the layup, but the ball never got up.
Foul occurred before shot.
So foul on the floor. 4 fouls now for the Dayton Flyers. One more will put Fordham in the bonus. 1:12 and ticking here in the second quarter. Kayla Berry goes up with the underhand lay. It's no good. Rebounded by O'Riordan, and now she finds Ricky Harris. Ticking under a minute to go. She finds Ariana Smith underneath. Now O'Riordan pulls for three from the left wing, and it's pure. O'Riordan kisses the three away to the crowd. And it's 32-24, 50 seconds and ticking here in the first half.
Yeah, Molly O'Riordan only 9 minutes per game on the season. She's currently at 3, now 4. And if Dayton's wiser, they'll put her in the lineup because, again, underrated offensive skill set at such a big size.
Taya Davis drives inside, spins, and puts up the lay. That's no good. Bounces off the rim a couple times. It's rebounded underneath by Mortua, but fighting for it is Ariana Smith. There's a battle again between Mortua and Smith that results in a jump ball.
And again, Tucker, just continuing on Molly O'Riordan. Freshman forward center, 6'2", Barrington, Illinois, underrated scoring option. I'm going to put emphasis on that. 38 defensive rebounds on the year, but she could also hit a three.
Adene Mortua draws the foul on O'Riordan. That does put Fordham into the bonus, so Mortua is going to go to the line here after the foul on the floor by O'Riordan.
Again, only an 8-point deficit here for Fordham. So you're looking at a 6-point deficit if both free throws go. That's a nice way to end the half.
Mortua with the crowd rising their volume. She drills the first one. Mortua, a leading scorer in terms of percentage in the A10, drops the second free throw. She's 4th in the A10 in field goal percentage, Monty, at 55%, but doing it from the free throw line as well. Ricky Harris fires it down the floor for Leung, guarded closely by Rose Nelson. She's nearly trapped, but she gets it out to Ricky Harris. 15 seconds and ticking, no shot clock. Ricky Harris working on Taya Davis. Now on the right wing, O'Riordan is wide open. She misses the three. It's an air ball. 3 seconds on the clock. The ball is still loose. Leung fires a circus shot. It goes off the rim. It nearly goes. I don't think I've ever seen a shot that ridiculous go, but thank goodness for the Rams that it didn't, because that would have been a hurtful way to end the half.
Yes, indeed.
But regardless, Mortua doing a good job with the free throws on the other end makes it a 6-point game after 2 quarters of play. It's 32-26. Dayton has the lead.
Yeah, again, Tucker, as we said before, Murua able to get the 2 free throws to go. Only down 6, and Fordham, you still get the impression that their feet are not wet in their scheme offensively there. A bit of confusion on that last play by O'Riordan and Luang, not sure what to run, not sure what they wanted to do for the last shot, and it resulted in a miss there. So it will stand 32-26 as we enter second half play. Fordham and Dayton both in good spots, a lot to be happy of. But only time and basketball will tell. I'm excited for the second half of action, Tucker.
Yeah, a huge first half performance from Ariana Smith of the Dayton Flyers. She's got 4 points, but she's got 10 rebounds. Meanwhile, for the Fordham Rams, it's been Shea Harris and Arene Morwa leading the scoring. They both have 8. We go to the locker rooms, but we've got a little bit of a halftime program for you, so don't go anywhere. We will be back in 15 minutes for the start of the second half between the Fordham Rams and the Dayton Flyers. You're listening to Fordham Women's Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Back to Kevin Durant. As you mentioned, his ability to shoot from practically any part of the floor is absolutely amazing. And one of the things that I think is really impressive is, and I learned this more when I saw him in person too, his figure. He's taller in person, dude. We already knew he's a tall guy.
Everybody says
dude,
he's
got to be 7 feet tall. Like it's actually insane, but they don't call him the Slim Reaper for nothing, dude. His legs are very thin. But no, his shooting at his size too, because a lot of times it almost feels like when you think of a basketball player, right? You almost assess their strengths and weaknesses based on their build. Like a lot of times when you see a very big guy go to the free throw line, you're like, oh, this guy's definitely going to doink these free throws. Like he's not going to hit these free throws. Kevin Durant at his size, his shooting form is so fluid. He can shoot a deep three. He can shoot, a step back three. He can do just about anything, as you mentioned. Just such a versatile shooter from any point in the floor. And that's the thing is like we're just pointing out his 3-point ability. It's just, as I mentioned, he's just a raw scorer. That's what he's been able to do. He puts the ball in the bucket. His mid-range is fantastic. He's great in the paint as well. It's exciting to see him get his flowers because, again, he's been in this game for so long. Besides his trip to Golden State, obviously, where those teams were practically unbeatable, except the Raptors got the job done, obviously, against a very banged-up Warriors team.
Yeah,
but
Clay
that Raptors team was still special. But I say all this to say that, like, Durant, besides playing for that practically unbeatable Warriors team, should have had more opportunities to play. And play for the finals, I guess I should say. So when you look back over the course of his career, I'm happy that he is earning these accolades as he goes along because he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And
I think he's the third best player for our generation growing up, behind LeBron and Steph Curry.
Ooh, you know what? NBA really woke up the crowd. We got another caller. Carl Anthony from Manhattan. Dude, I really hope, not to put you on the spot, Carl, I really hope this is a certain Carl Anthony from Manhattan, although I do think it's a long shot that he would call into this show, but who knows? Let's see.
I don't know if I'm the one you're looking for, but I see you guys are talking about KD, and what I really want to focus on is just calling KD a top 3 of our generation, I think is very much a long shot. I'm sorry. I can't respect him for the way that he didn't stick it out in OKC personally. I can't give him accolades when he didn't have to stress that much on the Warriors that much. He didn't have stress to worry about scoring that much when you have Steph Curry behind you, Draymond on the defensive end, and you have one of the best Sean Livingston mid-ranges to not worry about. And I just can't give him his accolades that way. He went to Brooklyn, couldn't finish it there. Now he's on the Suns. He's in the twilight of his career. I just can't give him his accolade. I can't say that he's top 3 of our generation. Definitely not top 3. I can't give that. I would say definitely LeBron and Steph.
If I may, let me ask you a question because I kind of see what you're saying, but I don't agree at all. If besides LeBron James, maybe name one because you're talking about finals, proving it in the finals and winning the finals, right? Besides maybe LeBron James, we'll call it. Name one prolific finals team from the 2010s where one guy did it by himself.
2010s. I would say by himself. Can you even say KD did it by himself? You have Steph Curry on your side.
No, but I'm not saying KD did it by himself. I'm saying you can't put the entire weight of not like the teams that he's on. He jumped to a couple teams. I do agree with you that it's a bit of a blot on his career. But what I don't think is entirely fair is to like hold all these, like, he went to this city and didn't make the finals, went to this city, didn't make the finals, went to this city and didn't make the finals, as though like he's the reason, or it's all on him that they didn't make the finals.
I would have to say, to answer your question, Kawhi Leonard easily.
That's one I didn't think about.
And you can say Dirk as well.
You could say Dirk as well. No,
2019. Dirk is another great answer, but 2010s I'm trying to think of. That's like early 2010, 2011. I would definitely say that. You got Kawhi both times, one with the Spurs and one with the Raptors. You could say both times.
Did it by himself, though?
Huh?
You think he carried the Spurs?
I don't know about carried the Spurs. He was locked. Did you not? You know that video of LeBron when he saw Kawhi check in with the Spurs? He literally said, "Oh my God," when he saw Kawhi walk.
Oh, for sure.
Kawhi was a factor on that Spurs team.
No, he was outstanding. I guess the question I have for you is, and again, I'm not like going crazy on KD has to be in my top 3, but I'm just curious. I find it interesting how adamantly against it you are. Give me are there a handful of players you're putting in the top 3 ahead of him? Like, I know you said LeBron and Steph, like, but is it like a laundry list of guys to you that beat him into the top 3?
Laundry list, okay. LeBron, Steph. If you're going to count this generation, like around there, I think near the end, that Celtics team, you got Paul Pierce, you got Kevin Garnett. I still think that
ahead of Kevin Durant.
Ahead of Kevin Durant, you heard me. You got Paul Pierce, you got Ray Allen in his right hand with that shooting, way over KD. I'm still saying that, guaranteed. Even though he didn't have much playoff success as an individual player, I'm going with Carmelo Anthony over KD. I'm sorry, I really do truly believe this.
Raw scoring ability, you're taking all of these guys over Kevin Durant.
Raw scoring ability, and might I say it, no joke, aura. KD is not a finisher. He does not have that killer mentality in my sense. He does not have that winner's mentality in the sense that LeBron has, that Steph has. I don't see KD on the court in a way that puts fear in my heart.
I don't know what to say to that. I think if you look at KD's career, even before he goes to the Golden State Warriors, he was up there with it was always him and LeBron James was the conversation. And I mean, Ray Allen even being mentioned in today's episode is crazy to me. Same thing with Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, both great players, but not in the same conversation as Kevin Durant. I don't think there's a single player that you can put other than those top 3 of Curry, Durant, and LeBron in any I think it's in that order of LeBron, Curry, and Durant for top 3, but I don't think there's a near close 4th.
He's never had a season where he's averaged less than 20 points a game. He's never had a season where he has averaged in the teens in points per game.
He's also averaging 27.3 points a game this year at the age of 35?
He's 36 years old. He's averaging Listen, it's an interesting take. Like, I'm glad you're getting our brains working on this one. But Carl Anthony, I'm really, I think you're being a little harsh on KD, man. Maybe we can argue, you know what, top 3 is high praise, but to not even put him in this generation top 5 is to me that's something I struggle to work with. But I appreciate the passion behind your take, though. I guess I'm it's an interesting perspective for sure. But again, like, look at this. I mean, he averaged 20.3 a game as a rookie, never dropped below 20 in a season a game ever. And that's on 3 different teams.
He's definitely efficient. I give him that. He's efficient. But we're talking about this legendary status that we're trying to give him with LeBron and Steph. And I just cannot give him that respect in the sense compared to those players and all across the generation. I can even say this, like, with my heart and soul, that I think even on the OKC teams, Westbrook, in a sense, looking back, is still better because even though he stayed those MVP seasons, the way that he just put fear in people's hearts, the way that KD, I don't care if they call him the silent reaper, or like the silent killer, it doesn't matter. He does not put fear in my heart in the way that other players do.
I think what you're getting at is a best versus greatest thing, which I guess I understand. Because it sounds like a lot of what you're saying with Kevin Durant, I've yet to hear an indictment on his statistical efficiency in the sport of basketball. A lot of what you're saying sounds like his presence in locker rooms, on the floor, and like as a culture icon in the sport. If am I interpreting what you're saying correctly? Because it sounds like to me,
I would probably say you are interpreting correctly because I'm very much, when it comes to sports in general, the culture is something that you just have to accept. And he's just not a culture guy, in my opinion. You can respect him for being quiet. You can respect him for just being efficient and doing his job. But I can't respect him when it comes to this idea of a top three. That's something that I think it has to encapsulate everything. It has to encapsulate the efficiency while also being part of the culture. And KD is just one of those players that he just does not, again, strike fear into, like, players' hearts like that. I don't think players, when they're guarding him, they're like, oh, respectfully, he's gonna score on us. But I don't think they see him as, like, that game changer. He had a chance to be with the Nets. He had his chance. Foot was on the line. He made that shot, and then in overtime blew it. He just, outside of having a great co-star, he had nothing. He needed that great co-star in order for him to be great. On the Warriors teams, Curry was able to be great. Even though he had Klay Thompson, even though he had Draymond, he was still able to stand out. Doesn't matter if he didn't win the Finals MVP because Iguodala was guarding LeBron the whole time. Doesn't matter. He was able to get that Finals MVP in their latest championship. You have LeBron. That's just LeBron. That's all I got to say for that. Everyone here can understand that.
Right.
And KD, I just can't respect those Finals MVPs because he did it while having an amazing – everyone, the moment he signed with that Warriors team, everyone hated him. And then the moment, no disrespect, the moment he ended his career that sadly with the Achilles tear, that's when he vindicated himself, really. People started respecting him more after he left that team after that sad moment. So I think we cannot gloss over how much the 2016-2019 era he had with the Warriors is. And I feel like if you erase that from his career, you'll just continue to talk about him being efficient, being one of those greatest to never have a ring.
Well, that was certainly a take. I appreciate your call, Carl Anthony from Manhattan. Big purr. Appreciate it. That was a hell of a take, but
Hi, my name is Ryan Rucco, WFUV class of 2008. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
I'm Chaz McAdams.
And I'm Ben Oppenheimer.
And we are two of your hosts for On the Hill, the flagship podcast of Fordham Athletics.
We'll be talking about everything from football at Moglia Stadium
to hoops at the historic Rose Hill Gym,
discussing the ins and outs of all Ram athletes, teams, and big games.
If you want to be part of the Ramily, then listen to On the Hill from WFUV Sports.
And welcome back inside of the Dayton Arena here in Dayton, Ohio. I'm Tucker Austin, joined by Madi Dembele, and we are just over a minute away from the start of the second half of action here between the Fordham Rams and the Dayton Flyers, wherein the Flyers currently lead the Fordham Rams 32-26. And that is majorly off the back of an excellent bench performance by Nayo Lear, Marty.
You talk about Nayo Lear. Again, that short corner has been her friend, whether she's able to get the three ball or, as she's done so all game long, attack off the dribble, that initial first step, and get to the basket for the point-blank shot in the restricted area. She's been able to get it to go. So, Fordham, it's been something that's been going on all game. You have to neutralize it, especially in an affair so close. 32-26 as we are 50 seconds away from second half action. You don't want to replicate that lethargic defensive effort in the first half.
Yeah, speaking of defense, Marty, I'm going to have my eyes on one matchup in particular that we saw a couple of times, not necessarily flare up, but these two players went at it after the basketball a couple of times in that first half. It was Arene Morwa versus Ariana Smith.
Yeah.
Those two battling under the basket have been so tenacious. They've been going after every rebound. They've got a couple of jump balls between the two of them so far. And with both of them, only Arene Morwa, they both only have one foul. So it's a foul apiece for Morwa and Smith. They're going to be letting it fly in the second half, Madi. I think they're really going to go at it.
Yeah, you talk about that matchup there. Ariana Smith, again, a main catalyst within this offense and why they are able to produce at the level at which they do. The gravity we talked about in the first half that she demands there. It's going to be a snake, a defensive snake, and Irene Morwa is the head of that snake. So she'll get a majority of the possessions against Ariana Smith. And whenever there's a loose ball, you can expect those two to be the first to it.
Just about ready to get things underway once again. It'll be inbounded by Ricky Harris to Nicole Stevens, and we are underway in the second half. Dayton in the home whites, Fordham in their road maroons, those clean-looking maroons, Madi. Ivy Wolf from the top of the key. That's no good. It rolls out on the three-point try. Battle for the loose ball under the basket. And it's going to be a timeout here called at a rather opportune moment by Tamika Williams-Jeter, and that is Jeter, although it's spelled similarly as the famed Yankee great Derek Jeter, but it's not Jeter, Madi, as we came to learn just
Jeter.
before the broadcast.
Yeah,
it is Williams-Jeter. And she calls the timeout to save her player under the basket from having to battle over the basketball. But I do want to touch on Tamika Williams-Jeter. While we have a moment here with the timeout, just at the start of the third quarter, only 19 seconds have come off the clock, Madi, 9:41 to go here in the third. But Tamika Williams-Jeter has had, I already did it. Tamika Williams-Jeter has had quite the career, her third season now at Dayton, and they're enjoying their first winning season under her tenure, Madi, at 14-12 now. It was a struggle the first couple of seasons here at Dayton, but she picked up a team that really wasn't competing at the top end of the Atlantic 10, and in her first season, they got a win in the first round in the A10 Tournament. In her second season, it's a win in the first round in the A10 Tournament. So great things and even better things that she's had before her coaching career, Madi, when she was in the WNBA.
Yeah, you talk about Williams-Jeter. She's been successful at every level of basketball, both as a player and as a coach. A stellar playing career at the top levels of high school, college, and professionally, to coaching staffs at Division I powerhouses, Kansas, Kentucky, Penn State, Ohio State, you name it, and the head coaching experience at Wittenberg and with the India national team. She's been a winner everywhere she goes. Williams-Jeter has helped advance the game for women athletes and coaches, both domestically and internationally. She is a name to know in the world of not just women's basketball, but as the sport in a whole.
A two-time national champion in women's basketball at her alma mater of UConn. So a Northeast basketball product is Tamika Williams-Jeter. She was drafted 6th overall in 2002 to the WNBA by the Minnesota Lynx and spent 6 seasons there before spending her last season with the Connecticut Sun, stopping back in Connecticut at her old stomping grounds. And then, like you mentioned, she spent a year as the head coach at Wittenberg College, a D3 school, but in only 1 season there, she comes into that program, immediately wins the conference, and sends Wittenberg to the NCAA tournament at the Division III level.
Yeah, it's just basketball fiber. It's her basketball DNA. She was the #1 recruit in the nation and 2-time Ohio Player of the Year. She was a named Miss Basketball and led the Eagles to their first ever Final Four appearance. She was highly sought after as a recruit and arguably the best women's basketball player to ever come out of Dayton. And as you said before, went on to UConn to do all the great things that she has done. And she's looking to sprinkle that magic in this game and for this program, the Dayton Flyers.
And there's just one more stat that bears mentioning when it comes to Tamika Williams-Jeter. She holds a current record in the WNBA. Williams-Jeter currently holds the single-season field goal percentage record in the WNBA when in 2003 she shot 66.8% from the floor on the season. So back into play after the timeout, Ivy Wolf Excuse me, that is Stevens, Nicole Stevens inbounds, but then a quick turnover forced by the Fordham Rams.
Yeah, another screen violation there by Dayton. Fordham's going to get the basketball back again. Only down 6, so if the momentum's looking to ride, it's looking to ride now.
Taya Davis calls Kayla Berry over and now goes back to Taya Davis. Now to Kayla Berry once again. Kayla Berry over to Taya Davis and now to Rose Nelson. Rose Nelson finds Wilson Saltos in the paint with the footwork, moves around a defender, but the layup goes off of both sides of the rim, and now the other way go the Flyers. It's Ivy Wolf driving into the low block. Multiple Fordham defenders are there. The foul call comes extremely late against Emma Wilson Saltos, well after the shot and after Ivy Wolf went to the floor, Madi.
Yeah, Ivy Wolf's taking a couple of big falls here. Again, she can handle a good, strong frame on her.
Can't fault the cell either, of course. Perhaps eliciting a whistle that would not have come otherwise, but regardless, Ivy Wolf stands at the free throw line for the Dayton Flyers. Ivy Wolf drills the first one.
And just to throw this out here, Tucker, Ariana Smith, going back to that last rebound where she was on the floor, makes her 9th offensive rebound of the game, 11 total.
And it's a miss on the second, a little strong from Ivy Wolf, so 1 for 2, and quickly the other way come the Rams. Taya Davis drives on Ivy Wolf, goes up for the lay off the glass, and it's good. A quick bucket for Taya Davis, and it's 33-28 Dayton, 8:49 to go in the third.
Absolutely nothing fancy about that. Just puts her heads down, gets to the basket, up and over Ivy Wolf. Easy, breezy, beautiful Fordham basketball.
Ricky Harris has it, guarded by Shea Harris. Ivy Wolf moving from left to right, goes under the basket, and she's fouled again. It is going to be against Rose Nelson of the Fordham Rams under the basket.
Ideally not the person you want to foul again. She's the team's leading scorer. Had 17 last time out against Fordham, so if she's able to collect points while the clock is off, maybe she can heat up from the field.
And she hits the first one. In 2023 to 24, Ivy Wolf shot 95% from the stripe. This season it's down a little bit, but 84% is still an excellent mark, as there is a lane violation on the second free throw against Dayton that erases the second made free throw. So Ivy Wolf, unfortunately, because of the violation, winds up 1 for 2 on both of her attempts so far at the line. Taya Davis has it for the Fordham Rams, just above the three-point line, 8:20 and ticking in the third. Taya Davis has it now, driving inside, now gets it back out to Rose Nelson. Finds Shea Harris on the right wing. Her three is no good. It rattles around. The ball is loose, and it's picked up by Rose Nelson. Taya Davis has it now for the Rams on the reset shot clock. It reads 12 seconds, and now inside is Rose Nelson. Working around Smith, she finds Kayla Berry for the long two. That's no good. Another battle for the rebound, and it's going to be Fordham's ball. So reset of the shot clock here after the fight for the board by Morwa. Another tenacious battle. 20 seconds go on the shot clock, 7:52 in the third.
Shannon Wheeler trying to get the okey-doke play there, trying to hit it off Irene Morwa, but she's out of bounds before she could do so. So Fordham, we got another possession. Close game here. Still only a 6-point deficit.
Fordham doing everything they can defensively to keep this lead where it is. Taya Davis has it for the Rams at the top of the key. She dribbles past the free throw line, fires up the layup, and hits the too short celly. Taya Davis getting it done for the Fordham Rams. It's 34-30 Dayton. 7:30 to go in the third. Stevens tried to work it inside. It's tipped away. Kayla Berry and Ariana Smith were fighting over the basketball, but it goes out of bounds off of Smith, so a turnover. Fordham's ball down by 4.
Yeah, and it's been said about this defensive unit by Fordham. They all have great hands, great positional size, and they can all turn and run as opposed to just sliding their feet. Kayla Berry, she's played invisible man all throughout this season. She gets one of many steals for her.
Rose Nelson finds Shea Harris in the corner. No hesitation, and it's a little long. Rebounded by Ivy Wolf. Wolf pushing the pace the other way. Rose Nelson steps up for the defense. Ivy Wolf tries to get it to Ariana Smith, but it goes off of the fingertips and out of bounds. So another turnover by the Flyers. Fordham gets another stop. 7:08 in the third, still 34-30.
And Ariana Smith feeling the weight of the pressure on her shoulders. She's played an extensive amount of time in this game, and you could tell she looks tired.
Rose Nelson finds Mortiwa down low. She's guarded by O'Riordan. Goes up against two defenders. It's no good, and O'Riordan gets the board. Mortiwa putting the pressure on. O'Riordan puts it on the floor. Now quick in transition go the Flyers, and it's good. That's Shannon Wheeler on the way with the assist by Ricky Harris, but Fordham quickly the other direction. Taya Davis has it on the right wing. She moves inside into two defenders, and there's going to be a travel against Taya Davis. So a bucket for Dayton and a turnover by the Rams. And it seems like all of the momentum, if any, that the Rams had gathered here at the start of the third quarter quickly dissipated.
Only a 6-point deficit here, Tucker. No need to frown just yet. Again, fresher legs for the Fordham Brigade here. Looking to change something up.
Nicole Stevens, guarded by Taya Davis. She finds O'Riordan, who's guarded by Wilson Saltos. Dribble handoff to Wolf. Now Wolf finds Stevens. Stevens gets it to Wheeler, who tries to get it up top for Wolf. It's tipped out of bounds by Shea Harris. Good play on the disruption by the Rams, number 5.
And again, Fordham opting for that speed, and it shows mightily on the defensive end.
3 screens set for Ivy Wolf to get the open look that she wanted from the left wing, but it's no good off the far iron. 3 screens, Madi. That was 1, 2, 3 screens set above the three-point line to get Ivy Wolf her shot, and she still didn't knock it down. So a break there for the Fordham Rams. Taya Davis has it now. Now it's over to Veljovic. Veljovic gets it back to Taya Davis. She moves it inside for Mortiwa. Mortiwa looking for options, finds Taya Davis. She takes the 3 from the top of the key. It's no good. Mortiwa with the rebound. Moves inside, and she's fouled as she goes up for the layup. So Mortiwa will go back to the line, looking to make this a 4-point game. It's only the first foul of the quarter for Dayton. Meanwhile, Fordham with 2. But Mortiwa with her second trip to the free throw line of the afternoon.
Yeah, Mortiwa, the wrong person to foul in that circumstance. She usually knocks him down. We talk about not just her back to the prowess, but her ability to knock down free throw shots as she gets the first one to go. 36-31. You go back to that 3-screen play for Ivy Wolf. I'm surprised she hasn't been a larger point of emphasis within this offense. Ariana Smith out there all by herself, leading scorer, not injected enough into Dayton's offense.
And the second free throw for Mortiwa goes down despite the hypnotic attempts of the Dayton band with those odd spirals they were spinning. But she knocks down both. She's 4 for 4 from the stripe tonight, and Dayton will work their offense on the other end. 36-32, and it's inside for O'Riordan. A quick little layup, and it's 38-32 now. Taya Davis has it.
Wilson Saltos thought she could get his steal, but that's just enough daylight for O'Riordan to get into the deep post position and get the ball up and over the net.
Veljovic finds Harris, now inside for Wilson Saltos. Ivy Wolf nearly knocks it away. Wilson Saltos puts it up, but it just rolls off the rim. A close look there for Wilson Saltos. Dare I say a decent look. Just doesn't go down for the Fordham Rams there. 5:12 here in the third. It'll be inbounded by Taya Davis to Mortiwa. Dribble handoff to Davis, who drives but is met by Ivy Wolf. Still working on Wolf is Davis. She tries to get it to Mortiwa and does. Mortiwa goes up with the lay. It's no good. It rolls out. Wilson Saltos with the second chance opportunity and gets it to go. 38-34, 4:54 in the third.
And she's so strong underneath the basket. Molly O'Riordan has a tough task ahead of her. You're going to have to deal with Emma Wilson-Saltos for the course of an entire game, and shows you exactly why there. You're not going to touch the basketball on her watch. She has great frame. She plays larger than her size there, almost akin to a boxer, say Canelo Alvarez, fighting at 5'8", but fighting in super middleweight there, 168, because she has a big-time punch. I've seen bigger players go down when in matchups against Wilson Saltos, so she is an absolute cheat code out there. It's like having another big. Ariana Smith knows the feeling of Emma Wilson Saltos.
And you mentioned Molly O'Riordan on that last play. It was Nia O'Lear trying to get the ball to O'Riordan under the basket, but similarly to the Ariana Smith play from earlier in the quarter, it goes off of O'Riordan's hands and out of bounds under the basket. So it'll be Fordham's basketball, but we do take the under 5-minute media timeout here in the third quarter. We'll be right back with more Fordham women's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hi, this is Ben Oppenheimer reminding you to tune in to New York's longest-running sports call-in show, One-on-One. Catch One-on-One live on the WFUV Sports YouTube channel every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then later on 90.7 FM from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. We'll catch you next Saturday on One-on-One.
Hi, my name is Ryan Rucco, WFUV class of 2008. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
And welcome back inside of the University of Dayton Arena in Dayton, Ohio. I am Tucker Austin, joined by Madi Dembele. We await the end of the media timeout in the third quarter, and that is the buzzer for the end of said media timeout. And Madi, it is night and day in this second half compared to the first half, with just how sleepy and sort of sloppy the game was for that first half. You go to the second half, and we're firing on all cylinders, I should say. Fordham and Dayton both moving very quickly in transition both ways, a lot of physicality, but the whistles have been pocketed just a little bit.
Yeah, both teams playing with a level of juice, I would say, injected to both sides of the basketball for them. They feel the pressure of this one again, fighting for 7th place saving within the A10 with the tournament a month out.
Taya Davis finds Wilson Saltos inside. Now Shea Harris with the ball in the left corner. Now on the left wing finds Wilson Saltos on the low block. It's up for Taya Davis. Now Veljovic, top of the key. Veljovic finds Davis. Davis with 7 seconds on the shot clock finds Veljovic on the left wing. Her three is good. Veljovic, nothing but net. It's a 1-point game, 38-37 Dayton.
You think back to that big game she had against the initial Duquesne game on the road there, where she eventually goes off and was the main catalyst in Fordham stealing that one.
Nia O'Lear finds O'Riordan. There's a wide open player in the left wing. It's Stevens, and it's no good. Rebound, and it's up to Ivy Wolf, who was wide open. She's no good off the left iron. Another rebound by Ariana Smith. She goes up. It's no good, but there's a foul.
And she is a machine on the glass. Ladies and gentlemen, Ariana Smith. 10 offensive rebounds there. Second chance opportunity after second chance opportunity for the Dayton Flyers. It begins and ends with her. She's finally rewarded for all her hard work. She's here at the free throw line. Dayton kind of feeling the Fordham stampede into the UD arena. Ariana Smith going to try to rewrite the order.
Smith's first free throw is no good. Toilet bowl's out. Rene Morwa takes a seat. She picked up the foul, battling Smith over the rebound. Smith ready to pull her second. And it's no good. 0 for 2 from the line. I'd say certainly a win for the Fordham Rams, considering the 2 wide open three-point looks that they let up on that possession. So Dayton comes away with no points. And the battle for the rebound goes out of bounds, but it'll stay with Fordham. Full court press now from the Dayton Flyers with a 1-point lead. 3:44 to go in the third. Shea Harris finds Rose Nelson and gets it up to Taya Davis across the timeline. Taya Davis drives inside, and she's fouled on the layup. Taya Davis will go to the line with a chance to give the Fordham Rams the lead.
Again, no spice of life there, nothing fancy. Puts her head down into the body of Ivy Wolf, able to draw the foul there. That's heads up, and that's money every single time. Taya Davis, ladies and gentlemen.
Taya Davis stands at the line for the Fordham Rams. Ivy Wolf checks out of the basketball game in favor of Olivia Leung. Taya Davis misses the first free throw, a bit of an uncharacteristic miss, as Taya Davis is a 62% shooter from the stripe in this season. And she knocks down the second one, so 1 of 2 for Taya Davis, and we are all tied at 38 with 3:35 to go in the third. A trap there by the Rams. Now the press is broken by O'Riordan. It's Olivia Leung with it. Now she gets it over to Nicole Stevens. Stevens with the dribble handoff to Leung, but the ball gets away. And an incredible play by Anastasia Veljovic to lay down on the floor and grab the basketball after it got loose. A tenacious play by Veljovic to dive onto the floor and grab possession for the Fordham Rams.
Golf claps or jazz hands, whatever you like. Nastasia Veljovic hitting the ground hard, and again, we talked about this Fordham Brigade, almost like a defensive back unit. Great hands with length, able to dig on the floor and keep the ball away from the Dayton defenders that are incoming there. And that's a great steal. It's possessions like that. It's the inches as such that win you basketball games. I think it was Any Given Sunday, and it's going to be Al Pacino giving that speech. Well, if he had something to point at to refer to those inches, it would be hustle and grit plays as such. Well done there by the Fordham Rams.
And she really only had a very small window to get that ball clean. There was another Dayton player coming across to try and grab the loose ball, but she recognized that the ball was even loose in the first place immediately and jumped all over it.
That's
so great job. And a smart play by Bridgette Mitchell to call the timeout, give Fordham a solid possession with a tie game here. 3:10 to go in the third. Down low for Wilson Salto. She goes up for the lay. It's no good. Ariana Smith with the rebound for the Flyers. Saltos giving a bit of a look, and it's fired across for Leung on the left wing. Leung looking for options, guarded by Veljovic. She finds O'Riordan, now back to Leung. Leung works around a screen, over to the right side now, and gets it up top for O'Riordan, but it gets away. Rose Nelson lays out for it, but it's still loose. It's picked up by Leung, who's pressured, and she still gets the ball out somehow to Stevens. Right corner 2 is no good by Lightbourne. A rebound by Ariana Smith is also no good off the bottom of the backboard, and Fordham regains possession, and Taya Davis will slow things down for the Rams.
That is how you play defense, all the way into the backcourt. Nothing for the Dayton Flyers to work with. Well done there.
I'm shocked they kept as much composure as they did, but Fordham with the basketball once again. We're still tied here, 2:14 to go in the third. Rose Nelson has it on the left corner. Now Wilson Saltos drives after receiving the pass from Nelson, but it's no good. Rebounded by Leung. She's guarded by Taya Davis. Bridgette Mitchell slams the scorer's table in front of us.
But here we go again.
After the turnover, but another loose ball by Leung. And it's a 10-second violation.
10-second violation. Taya Davis getting that one back. Fordham, lock and key of the Flyer offense here.
Dayton really having problems even getting past their own three-point line, let alone the timeline. A 10-second violation forced by the play of Taya Davis. And Amaya Ferguson will check in. Bit of confusion about the substitutions. Veljovic comes off. Kayla Berry inbounds for the Rams. It's Berry, Mordwa, Ferguson, Harris, and Davis for the Fordham Rams. Mordwa moves up to the free throw line, receives the pass from Taya Davis. She's triple teamed, and Amaya Ferguson is wide open on the right wing. Her three's no good. It's rebounded by Ivy Wolf. Shea Harris gives a look beyond half court for Ivy Wolf, but she gets across the timeline. She pulls for three from the left wing, and it's good. Ivy Wolf, and we've been waiting for that all night, Madi. A huge three for Dayton, and it's 41-38 Flyers.
Bridgette Mitchell irate at the ref there. Shea Harris hit with the body block of Ariana Smith.
Shea Harris finds Taya Davis, thinks about the three, and then hesitates. Shea Harris doesn't think about the three at all and fires it off the front iron. It's rebounded by Ivy Wolf. The other way come the Flyers. Ivy Wolf pulls from way out. It's no good, a ridiculous shot. Ricky Harris is open now, and now it's down to Lear. Lear finds Ariana Smith inside. That's no good. She falls down with the basketball while dribbling, so no travel. And it's stolen by Taya Davis. In transition go the Fordham Rams. Davis drives on Wolf, moves around. What footwork! The Euro step from Taya Davis, and it's 41-40 Dayton.
Turns Ivy Wolf all the way around the world.
A wild series of events here with very few stoppages as finally Mordwa picks up a foul against the driving Ricky Harris. But my goodness, Madi, the pace of the last 2.5 minutes has been astronomical. Taya Davis checks out for a deserved rest, as does Shea Harris. Into the game is DePool. Barry is out there.
The Fordham bench is all on their feet here, Tucker. I don't know if you see this.
O'Riordan pulls for three from the top of the key. It's a little long. Fight for the rebounds won by Lear. In the corner, it's Ricky Harris. Doesn't shoot the three, moves inside. The layup off the glass doesn't hit the rim. Rebounded by Smith, and there's a foul.
Ariana Smith, and she gets the golf claps because she has been working her tail off. Ladies and gentlemen, 10, make that now 11 offensive rebounds for her. Brings her total to 14 for the night. She has her hands on her hips. She is absolutely exhausted. She's played a majority of this game here, 23 minutes to be exact. She's going to close out the third quarter with some shots here at the free throw line. Fordham throwing the gauntlet at her, absolutely blitzing her, because again, the Rams have the great positional size. It starts with Irina Murwa, but then it's Rose Nelson, Anastasia Velovic could get in on the mix, Kayla Berry as well. So if Dayton comes out with this one, much of it goes the way of Ariana Smith.
As Smith knocks down the first of two. This is only her second trip to the line, and you mentioned how much Fordham has been throwing at her. She's taken a lot of contact tonight for only being at the line for the second time. Ariana Smith's second free throw is no good. Off the iron and off the top of the backboard. 8 seconds on the clock. The Fordham bench counting it down. Taya Davis is going to be triple teamed, and the ball gets away. Nia Lear with 1 second. Nia Lear puts it up, but it's no good off the rim. The putback is after the buzzer. So the Fordham Rams come charging back out of the locker room and get this to within a 2-point game as we go to the final frame of play. It's 42-40. Dayton has the lead after 30 minutes. And before the start of the fourth quarter, we will take a quick break. But you're listening to Fordham Women's Basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hi, this is Mike Breen, WFUV class of 1983. WFUV is the flagship station of Fordham Athletics with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to Saturday one-on-one. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV Sports.
I'm Chaz McAdams.
And I'm Ben Oppenheimer.
And we are two of your hosts for On the Hill, the flagship podcast of Fordham Athletics.
We'll be talking about everything from football at Moglia Stadium
to hoops at the historic Rose Hill Gym,
discussing the ins and outs of all Ram athletes, teams, and big games.
If you want to be part of the Ramily, then listen to On the Hill from WFUV Sports.
And we welcome you back inside of the UD Arena in Dayton, Ohio. Tucker Austin and Madi Dembele awaiting the start of the fourth quarter here. The Dayton Flyers lead the Fordham Rams 42-40. And this game looked a lot different going into halftime. It looked a lot different with 5 minutes to go in the third. But Fordham storms all the way back and has made this an incredibly close contest, Madi Dembele.
Yeah, physicality is where it started for the Fordham Rams. Again, we talked about them wearing down Ariana Smith, but they've been bodying up in man coverage there. They've gotten some key steals. Kayla Barry is the author of those steals to be Zach, but it's just a turn up in the pressure, right? All the dials go to 10. It's time to lock in, bend the knees, and get into your defensive stance. And Fordham finds themselves within a 2-point possession, doing what they know best, hard-nosed physical defense. And a quarter is all that separates each of these two teams from a win. And again, a 7th place standing with A10 play some weeks out.
Barely weeks. Just over a single week.
Trying to get the math down. March 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, March 5th to 9th is the A10 Tournament down at the Henrico Center in Virginia. But for now, we're here in Dayton as Taya Davis has it for the Fordham Rams. Shea Harris moves inside, puts up the floater. It's no good. Off the front of the rim. Down on the floor is Veljovic away from the ball, but there's no call. Ricky Harris moves it quickly for Dayton. Fires up the lay, but it's no good. She goes to the ground, and I believe there is a foul that's going to be called here.
If that foul was on the initial attempt there by Rose Nelson, then that whistle is going to be late there.
The referees are still conversing.
Still trying to figure out the call myself because, again, that would be a late call.
I didn't hear much of a whistle. Fordham with a little confusion, but it will be Dayton's ball under the basket after the foul. Inbound to Ricky Harris, who makes a sweet move around Maya Giles-Jones and gets the two. 44-40 Dayton. Quick three from Veljovic is good. Anastasia Veljovic hits the three and shushes the opponent. Unbelievable from Veljovic, and it's a 1-point game once again.
Has a game that reminds me kind of Josh Hart. She's kind of everywhere but nowhere. Jack of all trades type of player.
44-43, Ricky Harris with the ball. 9:08, and it's O'Riordan with the three. It's off the front of the rim. Ricky Harris with the rebound. Ivy Wolf wide open right wing. It's no good. O'Riordan with the board and the putback. A great play there by O'Riordan, and it's 46-43 Dayton. Taya Davis has it for the Rams. Davis finds Veljovic. Veljovic to Giles-Jones, now Nelson, now Veljovic. Now Taya Davis on the left wing, fires for three, it's no good. Mortua battles for the rebound, but it goes to Rose Nelson. Taya Davis has it now on the left wing. Right to left crossover. Inside with the bunny hop is no good, and there's going to be a foul on the floor. Mortua with her hands on the rebound. It's going to be against Molly O'Riordan of the Flyers, as Wilson Saltos and DePool both check in for the Rams.
Yeah, pushing the back there, Tucker, as Mortua tried to sky for the rebound. You saw her drift out of bounds. O'Riordan's going to take a seat here, but expect her to be back into this game. She averages 9 minutes per game, but again, she's played big time in this one, had a couple of threes, big time rebounds, so she'll certainly be back.
Veljovic fakes the three, now moves inside. Wilson Saltos trying to get close to the basket, and Ivy Wolf draws the charge under the basket.
Ivy Wolf beats her to the spot there. A little bit too much body contact for the referees. They blow their whistle.
Bridgette Mitchell not happy at all with the way that this game is going in terms of the refereeing, but Ricky Harris has it for the Flyers. She's double teamed, but she gets it away for Wheeler. Wheeler trying to find an option. DePool nearly intercepts it, but it gets to Ariana Smith. Smith dumps it off for Shantavia Dawkins. Dawkins goes up with the lay, it's no good. Ball is still loose. Dawkins collects. And Wilson Saltos gets her hands on the ball. It's going to be a jump ball, but they're still fighting for it.
And a little bit of a kerfluffle here on the sideline.
Yeah, a scrum near the Dayton bench now, as one of the Dayton coaches had to grab Eve Fiala before she jumped onto the court when she hadn't checked in. A fight over the ball between Wilson Saltos and one of the Dayton Flyers. The fans are not happy at all.
Yeah, Emma Wilson-Saltos trying to get that basketball, kind of lifts
the referees.
Shantavia Dawkins in the air there.
The referees are currently having a conversation just past the scorer's table, trying to discern basically what just happened in the right corner.
Yeah, both coaches here having good reason to be frustrated with the officiating. You can kind of see poor officiating kind of bleed into the attitude of both teams. As head coach Bridgette Mitchell still talking here with officiating. Again, 46-43. It's been that type of game, Tucker, Austin. Both teams want this one bad. B-A-D, all in caps.
This, dare I say, Madi, this feels like a tournament game.
Yeah,
this feels like real postseason basketball
this is
here.
Where it starts.
Late in the regular season. We're gonna take a quick media timeout here as the referees take a look at the replay. They're going to check for any kind of a flagrant or any kind of a foul that may have occurred during that last play in the corner, but we will step away just briefly here. 7:50 to go in the fourth quarter. 46-43, Dayton has the lead. We'll be right back with more Fordham women's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hi, this is Michael K., WFUV class of 1982. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One on One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV Sports.
And welcome back inside of the University of Dayton Arena. Here is the YMCA blares through the very, very impressive sound system here inside of the UD Arena. Madi, I can feel the shaking beneath my feet of these subwoofers. But we're still awaiting the referees as they take a very, very close look at the monitor. All three referees actually all looking at the monitor at the same time, trying to figure out what happened. They're writing down on a piece of paper as we speak all of the different numbers, I assume the numbers and names of players who picked up fouls during that exchange. I believe they're also trying to figure out if any of the Dayton players stepped onto the court during that scuffle, because I believe if anyone steps on the court when they're not checked in, is that a technical foul?
It will result in a technical foul. I just wanted to say the YMCA duality with what occurred prior to the timeout, ladies and gentlemen. For those just joining us, a bit of a skirmish on the Dayton sideline. If my eyes do not deceive me, or did not deceive me rather, Fiala, the sophomore center, 6'5", number 50, you kind of saw her begin to get up and make her way, try to de-escalate the situation there. So I don't know if they'll get her there for the technical foul, but that is the result. You come off that sideline, you will be penalized.
I don't know if we exactly know what her intentions were by getting up off the bench.
I use de-escalate as kind of like a placeholder.
De-escalate. You would hope she was trying to de-escalate, although I can't imagine that was really the thought process
for those
for any of the Dayton players.
For those who are listening on YouTube, use your imagination.
Yeah, quite the violent exchange after the jump ball between Wilson Saltos and the Dayton player. I apologize, I couldn't see really in the corner who she was battling with, but I know it was Wilson Saltos who had her hands on the basketball.
It's Shantavia Dawkins. That's who hit the ground hard, yup.
So, and it was I think the only reason that we're still looking at this is because the jump ball was called on the floor while both players were still upright, which should have diffused the entire play immediately. But Wilson Saltos continued battling for the rebound, as one does, as this Fordham team does. They always battle for every ball, right through the whistle. But on this occasion, Wilson Saltos ripped the ball away from Dawkins, and the ensuing motion of her ripping the ball away caused both players to hit the floor close to the Dayton bench after the whistle, and I believe that's what caused the general commotion. You saw a lot of the Dayton players stand up on the bench, and obviously we mentioned Eve Fiala took a step towards the court but was immediately grabbed by one of her coaches and brought back to the bench. Meanwhile, all of the Fordham players on the court immediately crashed the corner where Wilson Saltos was to back up their player, and so that's why the referees had to kind of get involved and break things up, because you have two teams jockeying for position in the Atlantic 10 right now, jockeying for the rights to maybe an easier game in the first round of the A10 tournament, and they are battling hard right now.
Yeah, and that's
so you never know.
That's why you can pretty much chalk it up to good, aggressive, hard-nosed basketball, because the implications are very, very large, right? Come tournament time, the run really starts a few games before. You want to get into that mindset. You want to get your, I would say, competitive juices flowing before you make your way down to Virginia, and that's all that this is, right? It happens in basketball, it happens in sports. It's zero-sum, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat here. Both teams fighting, because that basketball represents more than just a win or loss today. It represents the trajectory of the way they'll play come tournament time. 7:50 left to go in the last quarter. Talk 46-43. It's been a slugfest all throughout.
Yeah, slugfest for sure. Nearly turned into a true slugfest in the corner.
I see what you did there.
But luckily the referee has managed to diffuse things in time. They're still taking a look at this monitor, but it seems like they're getting ready to move away. Although they are still writing a couple things down on that sheet of paper. For the Fordham Rams tonight, Taya Davis has really put this team on her back.
Yeah.
As she has been known to do in the past. Obviously, Fordham missing two key players in Carissa Antoine, who's been really good in terms of rebounding and really defensively this year, and of course, Taylor Donaldson, the leading scorer on the team for the Rams, the fourth leading scorer in points per game in the A10, and the third leading stealer in the A10.
Yeah, Taylor Donaldson. She's a bucket in all sense of the word, capital B-U-C-K-E-T. I mean, led the A10 in scoring last season at around 17.1 points per game. Her averages are slightly down to around 16, over 16 and a half points per game. But when she's on the floor, she is something to watch. She scores at all three levels, and she also does it on the defensive end. We talk about how this Fordham team loves to jump in the passing lanes and collect steals. She's been the head of that, along with Kayla Berry. 2.2 steals all the season for Taylor Donaldson, but she is not out. Fordham has had a lot to be impressed with the way they've played in her absence. I'm talking specifically about last game against Meg McConnell and the Duquesne Dukes. Again, a hard-fought battle, but Fordham able to tough it out and collect the win there. Again, they find themselves in a similar predicament, 46-42, to a very, very talented team with a two-headed monster, and they've been able to stick with them throughout, but it's all about the last 5 minutes. We're 2:50 away from set, but crunch time is upon us, Tucker Austin.
Can they put together a similar run to the one that we saw in the second half of the third quarter? That's going to be the key for the Fordham Rams down the stretch here, because there was a period of time where Dayton, I don't think, scored for about 3 minutes, and Fordham was cashing in on almost every possession down the other way. They really only need a couple stops and a couple buckets to retie this game. But I think with what has just occurred in the corner, the referees might become a little more liberal with their whistles down the stretch here. Just for the sake of trying to protect the players at this point, I think you'd kind of have to. Because this game, although there has been an extended stoppage here now, this game has been really, really chippy, and it has the makings of becoming extremely chippy in the final 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Just want to highlight a matchup that we're actually missing out on today, because Taylor Donaldson, although she was a game time decision before this game, she wound up not being available. But if she had played, we would have gotten to see the two leading Atlantic 10 3 points made per game players between Donaldson and Ivy Wolf. They both make 2.7 threes roughly per game. That's tied for the lead in the conference alongside Rachel Olstrom of the Richmond Spiders. But the referees look like they're now explaining their call to the scorer's table so that they get things straight for the statistics. We have a horn finally. That was a long break. Probably the longest media timeout I've been a part of.
Definitely, for sure. Tucker, also really quickly, you talk about the matchup that we missed it. Wait until March 5th through March 9th. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be fireworks. Hopefully everybody from every single team in the A10 will be healthy enough, and we get to see the matchups that we relish and we would dream of seeing. I can't wait. I don't know about you, Tucker Austin, but I'm salivating proverbially.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Fordham women's basketball, and I'm excited for the A10 tournament, but I'm also excited because WFUV Sports is going to be sending me on the broadcast for the A10 tournament alongside Chris Carino, who I've worked with a couple times. He's worked with you a couple of times on the women's basketball broadcasts. He's been spending more of his time up with the men's side, but me and Mr. Carino will be down in Henrico, Virginia for the A10 tournament. But now, as we finally get ready to start play once again, it's going to be Kayla Berry with a technical free throw, and she misses. So I believe there was a technical called against Dayton for a player stepping on the floor. Kayla Berry knocks down the second of two. But I believe okay, never mind. There's going to be a third technical.
Third one here.
So three, is that three technical fouls then?
Yeah, I believe so.
Makes the second of three, and no, she's got another. Okay, so it was two technical fouls that were each two free throws. Okay, now that we've gotten that straightened out, the fourth free throw for Barry is no good.
2 of 4.
2 of 4 at the stripe, a rare four attempt trip.
Well, remember, not too long ago, Shea Harris had the same thing. I forget the game and escapes me. It was back in the Rose Hill Gymnasium. Kayla Berry saying, my bad there, but she was able to convert 50% there and brings the Fordham Rams within a single position, so no need for that. Just play good basketball. 7:50 left to go in this one.
So 4 free throws and the basketball for the Fordham Rams. They get 2 points on the free throws to make it a 2-point game. It's Veljovic on the right wing, now in the right corner. Working on the low block, she's double teamed. Morwa pulls a short two, it's no good. There's an off-ball foul. It's going to be against Kayla Berry of the Rams.
She's going to take a quick seat here. Rose Nelson back into the game.
It's the 4th foul of the afternoon for Berry. So foul trouble for Kayla Berry. But it's going to be Stevens here for the Rams. Taya Davis doing well to disrupt a pass to Shantavia Dawkins. But it'll be out of bounds off Davis. Dayton retains possession. 7:30 to go in the fourth quarter. It's a 2-point game, 46-44. Flyers have the lead. Nicole Stevens gets it over to Shannon Wheeler. She's guarded by Mordwa. Nicole Stevens goes inside for Smith, and it's blocked by Rose.
And again.
And a jump ball. Veljovic fighting for the rebound with Ariana Smith. Jump ball.
And I got to tell you, the play of Rose Nelson has blossomed. If you see what I did there all year long, she's finally getting over that hand injury, and her game has opened and soared to new heights.
Jump ball possession stays with the Flyers, inbound to Ivy Wolf. Ivy Wolf with Mordwa working on her. Now it's Shantavia Dawkins. Dawkins works inside on Veljovic on the low block, looking for an option, gets it to Wolf. Mordwa, now Rose Nelson guarding Wolf inside, and it's going to be a shot clock violation against the Dayton Flyers. They got the ball out to Nicole Stevens on the left wing, but the shot for 3 did not get up before the buzzer. So Fordham forces another turnover here. Still 2-point game, 46-44. Rams trail, ticking under 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Taya Davis dribble handoff for Veljovic. Now back to Davis. Mordwa steps up for a screen. Davis decides to go to her right. Now Veljovic on the right wing. Tries to get it out to Davis, but it goes out of bounds. Veljovic with a bit of an errant pass there to Taya Davis as they were trying to work things slowly. Veljovic will take a seat now in favor of Shea Harris.
Yeah, had Camilla DeBoer near side wing here, wide open. Didn't have the eyes up. Results in a turnover here so late in the game, so crucial.
Shea Harris guarding, and now it's over to Ariana Smith for the Flyers. Now Nicole Stevens, guarded by Harris, and she's going to be double teamed, but she gets the ball away for Shannon Wheeler. Now all the way across for Shantavia Dawkins, moves inside and gets the lay to go. Shantavia Dawkins for two, 48-44 Dayton. Taya Davis has it on the left wing. She gets it to Harris. Now it's to Rose Nelson, who goes back to Taya Davis. Now back to Rose Nelson. She drives inside. And there's going to be a foul called against, that is going to be Shannon Wheeler of the Flyers. Her first foul of the afternoon. Fourth foul in the quarter for Dayton. Meanwhile, Fordham at just 3, so advantage Rams in that category.
Absolutely love the play there by Rose Nelson. Her passing, it's been keen. It's something to watch, ladies and gentlemen. She truly has a knack for her playmaking.
Camilla DePool gets it to Taya Davis. Davis moving right to left, now drives into the lane, puts up the lay, and it's good, and the foul! The finger roll layup from Taya Davis, and she converts with a chance.
And her size knows no bounds, ladies and gentlemen. As we said many times before, 5'7", but she attacks the basket as if she was 6'5". She's here at the free throw line, looking to make it a 1-point game.
And drawing that foul also draws the Fordham Rams into the bonus. So Dayton with no more fouls to give unless they want to send Fordham to the stripe. Taya Davis knocks down her free throw, so it's a 1-point game once again. 5:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. And it's a dribble handoff for Nicole Stevens. Goes for the reverse lay. It's no good. There's a foul under the basket.
Yeah, and I do say
it's on Morwa.
And I dare say it, Tucker Austin, that's going to be the wrong call there. You see Ariana Smith come over the back of Irene Murwa. If anything, that should be Fordham basketball. It's not the homerism. It's just what I see with my two eyes. Ariana Smith, again, soaring like a missile. If anything, that's an over-the-back foul. Irene Murwa will take a seat here. Nelson gets the Smith matchup.
Nicole Stevens has it under the basket for the Dayton Flyers. She gets it out to Ivy Wolf, who falls with the dribble. She looks like she's injured, maybe. She gets up a little slow. Looks okay now, though, as it's Ariana Smith on the ball. She gets it to Shantavia Dawkins, guarded by Rose Nelson. Bounces to the outside of the paint, puts up the layup, and it's no good. Ariana Smith gets the board and goes up for the layup, and it's going to be another foul on the Fordham Rams. This time comes against Shea Harris, and it sends Dayton into the bonus. So now both teams in the bonus, no more fouls to give either way. It's a 1-point game.
Ariana Smith now with 21 rebounds on the game, 17 offensive. Ladies and gentlemen, that has to be a record. She short arms the first free throw there. Again, she's tired. She's getting no lift on any of her shots, including the ones at the free throw line, because her legs. She's been jumping all game long to the tune of 21 total rebounds.
Ariana Smith makes the second free throw. Now Taya Davis has it for the Fordham Rams. 5:15 to go, 49-47. Dayton has the lead. Gets it to Rose Nelson inside. Now to Camilla DePool. She pulls for three from the left wing off the glass. It's no good off the front iron. Shea Harris tries to get the rebound, but it gets away from her. In transition go the Flyers. It's Shannon Wheeler, and now it's in the corner for Stevens, and she drills it. Nicole Stevens with the wide open look, and she finally gets it to go. 52-47, Dayton has a 5-point lead with 4:45 to go in the fourth. Taya Davis for Fordham. Drives inside. The teardrop is no good off front iron. And it's going to be off of Rose Nelson and out of bounds. Dayton's ball. It is going to be Anastasia Veljovic, Rose Nelson, Emma Wilson-Saltos, Camilla DePool, and Taya Davis on the floor for the Fordham Rams. Full court press from Veljovic. and no one else. And the screen set by Shannon Wheeler is successful. Nicole Stevens dribbling around looking for space. She's still on the right wing, and now a screen comes up high by Ariana Smith, but it's going to be, the shot is waved off on the offensive foul. Illegal screen by Ariana Smith.
Again, as she begins to get more and more tired, her play gets sloppy. You see her movement patterns. Even as she's walking, looks like she's trying to shake a limp off or something as she's breathing heavy as well. Again, she's going to have to go the full distance here, Ariana Smith. She's played 29 total minutes, and she's going to look to close this one out. Let's see how she holds up towards the end.
Taya Davis has it for the Fordham Rams. Moves it across court to Veljovic. Veljovic gets it back to Davis. She swings it to DePool. DePool works inside, now finds Saltos. Wilson Saltos goes over to Veljovic. Veljovic all the way across court for DePool again in the left corner. DePool across the lane, it's no good. Rebounded 10th by Wilson Saltos, but it gets away. Camilla DePool battling for it. Under the basket with Stevens. Stevens has possession, but I believe it will go to the Fordham Rams on the jump ball. So Rams ball under the basket. 5-point deficit, 3:48 to go here in the fourth, as there is a stoppage called on the floor. No, the scorer's table was not ready yet, so we'll get a second inbound. This time it's to Kayla Berry. Play begins. Berry loses possession, and it's immediately stolen away by Shannon Wheeler. Ivy Wolf coming the other way. She finds Ricky Harris, and they'll slow it down. Ricky Harris gets it to Ivy Wolf. She's on the left wing, and now she puts it on the floor. Driving inside, and now she pulls for two from about 10 feet away. Ivy Wolf is pure, 54-47, 3:20 to go in the fourth, and it's a timeout called by Bridgette Mitchell.
Yeah, and Ivy Wolf, no better time than now to wake up and smell the roses again. It's been a slow affair for her all throughout. Ariana Smith kind of feels like she's been one head of two that has been locked in all game long. But Ivy Wolf, whenever you could get a bucket from her, it is money. She's played 25 minutes tonight. 1 of 7 from 3, 2 of 3 from the free throw, and only 2 of 10, 20% from the field goal line. 7 points, but if she continues to fill it up in such a late time, we are now in crunch time, then the Dayton Flyers will soar high.
3:19 on the clock in the fourth quarter. Fordham now in a 7-point hole. It's not the worst it's not the worst deficit that they faced tonight, and certainly plenty of time left on the clock to get things going, but Fordham's going to need to pick up a couple of defensive stops when it counts down the stretch. It's Fordham's ball to start play again here as Rose Nelson inbounds to Taya Davis. Taya Davis sends it to Mordwa. Mordwa now to Taya Davis. Taya Davis at the free throw line, now to Mordwa. Mordwa dribble handoff to Davis. Davis finds DePool. DePool pulls for 3 from deep, and it's good! Camilla DePool with the 3 to bring Fordham within 4. 54-50, 2:51 to go in the fourth.
Kind of had to wrap around head coach Bridgette Mitchell to see if that one was going up. They went up, and in. Big time by Camilla DePool.
Across the timeline, and she does. It's Nicole Stevens. Stevens finds Ivy Wolf. Now it's up for Shannon Wheeler. Wheeler finds Stevens in the right wing. Now to the low block on the right side for Ariana Smith. Smith finds Ivy Wolf. Wolf drives on Veljovic. Goes inside, and it's blocked by Veljovic. Stevens gets the rebound. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Stevens dribbles into the corner, and there's a foul called on the floor. It's going to be against Dayton. Fordham has the basketball, and my goodness, the fans did not like that one.
The Rams stitching together another 30-second violation here. Great defensive possession there. Much to the dismay of the Dayton faithful. You hear the Blues rolling down upon us here. But Fordham, it's not over yet. 57-52, a minute over to play.
1:19 on the clock in the fourth. Taya Davis has the ball for the Fordham Rams. Taya Davis drives inside, puts up the lay, and it's good off the glass. Fordham needs to get back on defense quickly. 57-54, 1:09 to go.
Head coach Mitchell wanted contact on that one.
Shannon Wheeler gets it to Stevens. Nicole Stevens gets across the timeline. We're ticking under a minute now here in the fourth quarter. Ricky Stevens has it. Top of the key, guarded by Rose Nelson. 12 seconds on the shot clock, and inside, it's Ariana Smith. She goes up and she's fouled, but the layup is no good. Ariana Smith is going to go back to the line. Smith back at the free throw line is going to try and make this a two-possession game. 51.7 on the clock in the fourth quarter. Ivy Wolf takes a brief seat, and Nio Lear checks in. Emma Wilson-Saltos walks up to the scorer's table, getting ready to check in as well, as Ariana Smith's first is good. Bridgette Mitchell wants a timeout, and she'll likely get it after the second of two. 4-point lead, Ariana Smith with a chance to make it 5, and she does. So 59-54, it's a 5-point deficit for the Rams with 51.7 to play. Bridgette Mitchell calls a timeout. The Rams will have one remaining. We'll keep it right here, as it should be a shorter side timeout. The band gets going here. And Taya Davis has been taking it upon herself, really, in this second half to bring Fordham to the finish line. But Camilla DePool with that huge three, you start to wonder, like, who do you want to put the ball in the hands of down the stretch here? Do you want to give it back to Taya Davis again for the surefire two? Or you want to maybe give it back to Camilla DePool again, see if she can't knock down that three and make this a closer game? Additionally, I would add, Shea Harris has also been known to knock down some threes when she gets hot. She's 0 for 5 from beyond the arc tonight, but that only means one thing, Madi. She's due.
Well, Tucker, also, you kind of answered your own question. It's whoever's up next. It's strength of numbers. Going back to last game, we spoke with head coach Bridgette Mitchell, and she said, you want to win in questions to whoever is going to get the last shot. So it's pretty much whoever's ready to step up and take it for Fordham.
Rose Nelson fires it down under the basket. Wilson-Saltos is going to go to the line for two after the foul under the basket.
That's a play there by Rose Nelson. That's excellent.
Loud disapproval.
Puts the ball only where Emma Wilson-Saltos could grab it as Smith was face guarding there. That's brilliant.
Loud disapproval is probably an understatement at this point from the Dayton faithful. But a clear foul under the basket as Wilson-Saltos was just trying to receive the pass. The crowd comes to a crescendo for the free throw, and it's good. Wilson-Saltos makes the first and makes it a 4-point game, looking to bring Fordham back within a score here, 50.6 to go in the fourth. Crowd volume increases once again. Wilson-Saltos' free throw is good. She's 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Timeout for Tamika Williams-Jeter.
Absolutely pure stuff from Emma Wilson-Saltos. She struggled from the free throw line all season long, but she gets 2 pristine ones to go there. Again, you talked about Taylor Davis earlier on. Yeah, she has shouldered the load for Fordham. She's played 38 excruciating minutes here, 50% from the field. She hasn't hit a three, but she's been doing everything else within her powers to try to get Fordham this win. 20 big points from her, contributing to much of Fordham's scoring here.
And we're quickly ready to restart play here. 50.6 to go in the fourth. 3-point basketball game between the Dayton Flyers and the Fordham Rams, each tied for 7th in the A10 standings. It's going to be an inbound from Ricky Harris, and the ball gets right back to her. Rose Nelson picks up Ricky Harris about 5 feet beyond the 3-point line.
Yeah, Fordham going to pressure. They're going to force them to make an ill-fated decision.
Ariana Smith with it inside. Wilson-Saltos steps up, and now it's back out to Ricky Harris. Bleeding time off this clock are the Dayton Flyers.
Fordham has the pressure.
In the corner is Olivia Leung. She gets it back to Ricky Harris. Ricky Harris pulls for 3 with no time left on the shot clock. And they're going to call a foul here, I believe, against Dayton once again.
Extremely late there. Nothing. Waiting for a whistle myself. My hands are up. as Anastasia Velovic hits the ground extremely hard.
Foul comes against Ricky Harris. Under the basket, battling for the rebound, Ricky Harris pulled a three from the left wing with about 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and it went off the glass to the left side of the box. Did not hit the rim, and in the ensuing battle for the rebound, Ricky Harris committed a foul. And it seems like the referees are going to take a look at the monitor quickly here. Maybe looking at a flagrant under the basket, or at least trying to figure out whether or not it's a shooting foul, though they would go to the line either way.
Yeah, again, Anastasia Velovic hit the ground extremely hard. I was waiting for the whistle myself, my hands in the air, as the ball slammed against the backboard. She's going to step up here and take her free throws again. A one-possession game, 21.3 seconds left on the clock, with a great shooter at the free throw line. Fordham holding your breath, praying she hits both.
Veljovic fighting the crowd noise once again. And she makes the first. It's a 2-point game. Veljovic with a chance to bring Fordham within one with 21.3 to go in the fourth. The second free throw is no good. Rebounded by Nio Lear. And there's going to be a foul. Personal foul taken intentionally by Taya Davis to send Ariana Smith to the line. The Fordham Rams will hope for at least a miss so that this game stays within one possession. There was nearly a moment there in the corner, Madi, after they got the rebound. Nio Lear was stuck in her own end of the floor with a double team, but she managed to get the ball out to Ariana Smith, who misses the first free throw. So door open for the Fordham Rams, whether or not Ariana Smith makes this next one.
Again, Tucker Austin, don't go anywhere because 16.2 seconds left, but expect a lot of fouls and free throws from both teams.
So the free throw is good from Ariana Smith, the second of two. She goes 1 for 2 at the line on that trip. It's 60-57 Dayton, but Fordham has the basketball, and Bridgette Mitchell calls her final timeout. So she'll talk it over with her team. This is the conversation that we just had. Who's taking this last shot, Madi? I imagine with no shot clock, they'll look to dribble it down. They'll look to make it the final shot. Or maybe they'll look to tie it early. Who knows? But I think if you're the Fordham Rams, the way that Dayton has been doing a decent job of playing physically on the other end and getting to the free throw line in crunch time, I think you want to tie this game and have it go to overtime.
Well, if you're Fordham, you don't necessarily need the three. That needs to go to time, go to overtime. But you will put your head down to the basket. The way this game has been officiated, you want to get your head down to the basket and force the referees to blow their whistle and try to get the and one opportunity. That's another way to go about it. A three-point shot, you know that Dayton's going to come out and play denial on the perimeter, force everything inside. So it is something, it is a strategy that Fordham can employ.
I feel like I can already hear the crowd reaction from the hypothetical and one opportunity that you're talking about. Boy, I think this building will probably lose its roof if there's another foul called against the Dayton Flyers, but
given the fact that this is Dayton, Ohio, I think they'll also appreciate more basketball.
Mordwa looking to inbound, and she gets it to Taya Davis. She's guarded by Nicole Stevens. 13 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. She gets it to DePool. DePool finds Taya Davis. Good defense from the Flyers. Now Veljovic pulls for three. It's no good. Intercepted by Nio Lear, and she's fouled by Irene Mordwa. Mordwa picks up the intentional foul. That's going to send Nio Lear to the free throw line with 1.1 to go. A bucket at the line, just one of two, will seal the deal.
Yeah, and again, Fordham hunting the three-point shot. You know, Dayton, like as I just said before, you knew Dayton was going to play denial on the perimeter. Probably would have suited the Rams better to try to head inside, get the N1 opportunity. And again, the Dayton faithful loving this one. 1.1 left on the clock, 60-57. Not over yet. It's been a tough affair all throughout.
She used all the time she could before the restart of play, before the free throws here for Nio Lear. Lear's first free throw is a dagger. 4-point basketball game with 1.1 to go as Nio Lear will take her second. And it is good. 2 for 2 from the line goes Nio Lear. The inbound to Taya Davis. She fires it up down court. It's well short. And the Dayton Flyers hold on to defeat the Fordham Rams 62-57 in their barn. They get the Fordham Rams back, get their revenge game here in Dayton, Ohio. And the Flyers improve their record to 15-12, 9-7 in Atlantic 10 play. What a turnaround for the Dayton Flyers compared to their last 2 seasons before this one. This is a team that's poised to go into the tournament as a top half talent in the Atlantic 10.
Yeah, again, and much of that starts at the top. Tamika Williams-Jeter, I mean, we talked about her basketball DNA, her basketball fiber. You can feel it throughout a great basketball town that is Dayton, Ohio. They produce some great stuff on the men's side. Obi Toppin, Tumani Kamara for the Portland Trailblazers. But the women's side is nothing to scoff at here as she just passes us by here. She's an amazing head coach, an amazing person, an amazing basketball person. It's in her bone, it's in her DNA. It's what she was born to do. As the Dayton Flyers take this one 62-57. Ariana Smith, game of her life on the glass there. Get this, Tucker Austin.
21 rebounds.
21 rebounds. I think it may have been 22 with 18 of those coming way off on the offensive end. She's played the entirety of this game. You saw her with her hands on her side. You saw her with the heavy breath, with the weird, there we go. You saw her with the weird movement patterns because she gave absolutely everything that she had for this game. Blood, sweat, and tears, and it eventually pays off. The basketball gods shine down on this great city of Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, just an incredible game from Ariana Smith. I mean, you talked about the rebounding, but it was her 21 rebounds that powered Dayton to out-rebounding the Fordham Rams, something we don't see a lot from this Rams team. They don't often get out-rebounded or outworked in the paint, but today that was the case, although not to be left out of this post-game conversation, Taya Davis.
Absolutely.
Hats off to Taya Davis
20 big ones
for an absolutely electric performance for the Fordham Rams. Down Taylor Donaldson and down Carissa Antoine. Also a shout out to Irene Morwa for her 10 points and 8 boards. She wound up fouling out of this game down the stretch, but for the Fordham Rams, Davis and Morwa really picking up where they were missing a bit of their production that they normally get. But I mean, across the board for Dayton, they had so many players. That's all of their starters had points, of course, but they had 5 bench players with points, 10 players getting on the score sheet overall in this game, and plenty of scoring too. Wolf with 9, Ricky Harris with 8, Lear with 11 off the bench, so really an all-around great performance by the Dayton Flyers. But certainly not a performance to be ashamed of by the Fordham Rams. They fought tooth and nail. On the road, mind you, against a team they've already played this year. So a solid performance from the Fordham Rams, but just not quite the result that they were looking for.
2-game stretch where Fordham has played impressive basketball. Again, the win last time out and then this one. Have a lot to be proud of. It's a loss, but it's a loss you look back on and kind of smile on.
Fordham's next game will come later this week when the Rams take on the LaSalle Explorers in another Game 2 of the regular season series. We'll have that game on WFUV Sports YouTube page, but that just about does it for us today from the University of Dayton Arena in Dayton, Ohio. Of course, for Madi Dembele, I have been Tucker Austin saying so long. Once again, the final score in this one was Dayton 62, Fordham 57. You've been listening to Fordham Women's Basketball on WFUV Sports.